We're here to tell you not to brush aside the little vloggers, so give us a chance, a little bit of love. Who knows, we may even surprise you.
And we are live. We've got a strange noise, but we're live. Right. Welcome to the Football Vloggers podcast. We've got quite a few in tonight. Just going around the boards, we've got Fraser from Scotland. Say hello, Fraser.
Hello, Fraser.
Hello, Fraser. We got Ben, Cod Vlogs, next to him. Fleetwood Vlogger. We've got no sound. He's muted. You're muted. Right.
And there we go. We're off.
We're off to a cracking start.
Hello,
Are you
lads.
there?
Hello,
Calling
lads,
into
how are
planetary.
we? To be fair, lads,
Good
we missed out
evening.
last week. I wish we
Good
missed out last
evening.
week.
Okay. Below him, we've got Gogsy from Scotland. Hello, Gogsy. Can you hear us?
Of course I can hear you, Lee. That's what you
Oh, you prankster, you.
Hello, everyone. Good to be back.
Next to him, we've got Daniel 18 Dapper, who's a Doncaster Rovers vlogger.
Good evening, all.
Next to him, we've got Jake, Punk Chef 41.
We did have Jake.
We did have Jake, but he's
Not anymore.
he's gone. We'll get him back soon. So we'll just move down to the bottom, Mr. Benjamin Bloom from the Benjamin Bloom Show. How are you, Benjamin?
The Benjamin Bloom Football Channel.
Well, right. Put him a place.
Right.
Benjamin
Here we go.
Football Channel.
Look, I'm on the booze.
You're on the booze. I'm sure you're happy. So the first thing we're going to have a little chat about. Let's see if we've got any comments in first that we can sort of. We've got Sheriff 1-2's in for Fraser. Sounds.
What about loudmouth?
Am I invisible? Can't you see me? You can't see me.
Oh yeah. Sorry.
Fucking
Yeah.
blind.
He hates you.
And there's some guy from the non-league in that we did.
Matt, 1 minute, he's
Loud
trying
mouth.
to mute you and kick back to the crackling in the neck. He's not talking to you.
We also
Make him
say
stand
hello. We shall also say hello to Matthew, who's loudmouth, Barnet FC. So apologies, Matthew, for that. How are you?
Evening, everyone.
Good evening. Right, we shall have a quick roundup of the games. We're not going to talk about Blackpool Ipswich, so Benjamin can't speak, and I'm not going to speak.
4-1.
Who wants to-
1-4.
Who wants to go first with them with their matches? Do you want to go first? Cod's vlog, seeing as you had an unbelievably raggy win.
Well, honestly, I'm disappointed that it wasn't more. We had a
Okay.
blatant penalty. We've hit the bar. The keeper made a few unbelievable saves, and we were unbelievable from start to finish. And a good win against a good side. And they've won 4 games, fair play, and they won 3 games. And sides that came up out the division in Swindon, Plymouth Argyle, and Northampton, who they should be beaten, but we got at them and we worked and we pressed, and I thought we were unbelievable. Great win, brilliant tactics from Joey Barton, and fantastic going forward. And I think it will really kick us going for next week against top of the table Lincoln.
It was a great result, Ben. I must admit, I think it shocked a lot of people. So so it was a wonderful result. I mean, Hull seemed to be quite confident going into the game. I went on the Hull boards and they were all thinking they were going to smash you. And I was seeing, predictions 5-0 to Hull, 4-0 to Hull, and they really went home with their tail between the legs, didn't they? And you put on a great show, and I imagine you're buzzing from it, really. I would say.
Yeah, buzzing, and it was weird because I spent the last 2 Saturdays not talking to anyone, miserable and ruining my weekend and not wanting to do anything. And again, it was a good feeling to get back on a winning game. And it's going to be a tough game next weekend, but they're all tough. Every game will come across, and again, hey, there's only big clubs that won 4-1 this weekend. Hey, Ben.
Well, it's a scoreline that doesn't sound so good to me. I'm not liking the sound of 4-1. There's something about it that's starting to give me shivers, to be honest. I'll leave myself to last, and I will have a rant at the end of this. So we'll
You're
go
not
on to
one for winning.
Yes. I'm expecting it tonight, lads. Moving on to 18, Dapper. Hi, Daniel. How did Doncaster Rovers? Did you play?
We were the only team in the league who didn't play because of the international break. We had three players on the international duty, and to be honest, I think the international break came at a good time for us. Just got beat by Wigan, and then a 2-0 against Oldham in the Checkatrade Trophy. So I think the rest came at the best possible time.
Right.
But we've got Portsmouth away on Saturday, so another tough test.
Yeah, very tough. Although they're not playing fantastic, Portsmouth, at the moment, are they? So
they're picked up, haven't they? I think they've won 3 on the bounce.
Have they?
Yeah, they started picking up 4-2 against Burton.
Right.
Yeah, started to pick up, so probably hit them at the wrong time, but we will see.
Okay. I'm going to leave you Scottish lads just for a minute. We'll go to Punk Sheff, who's come back. Hi Jake. We lost you for a minute, but you're back.
Yeah, everything just
Sheffield Wednesday. Tell us about it.
So basically, this week's been last week's been really interesting because we basically remortgaged the stadium to pay less, and it caused our fan base to completely shit the bed and go, our owners are incompetent again.
Right.
That was that big news was. We now don't technically. We own our stadium, but the club doesn't own it. The owner owns it, which is then with another company that he owns, which is with another company that he owns, and it's really messy. But we don't know.
Bother for selling your stadium to yourself a few seasons back. Is that not what?
Pretty much, yeah. But we haven't been charged for that. It's really weird. It's really
That's a
strange.
dodgy one, isn't it?
It sounds like a night. It does sound like a bit of a nightmare.
It's a bit scary because we're all like going, now what's going to happen next? I don't think Chansiri's going anywhere soon, and without him, we wouldn't have a club, to be fair, with what money put in, but we need to have some more explanation what's happening, if that makes sense.
Right.
I think you'd rather not know, Jake.
I know what I know. I'm not allowed to say. Put it that way.
Oh gosh. So okay.
I think you should tell us, Jake.
Yeah, I want to hear more from Jake.
I've already had one letter from a lawyer. I'm not having another.
Oh, blimey.
Oh, I've been there. Don't worry about it, mate. It means nothing. Crack on, son.
Oh gosh. Right. We'll move on to non-league. We'll move on to our resident Barnet vlogger, Matthew. Tell us a little bit about what's going on down at Barnet.
Fuck all again, mate. We've lost again. Shit, we're getting relegated. Just fuck the club. Just blow it up. Just get rid of it. Just throw it in the bin. Just get rid of it.
You want to tell us the video now, Lee, yeah?
Let me know right now.
Oh my God, that
We've
bad?
got Weymouth. We got Weymouth tomorrow night, who haven't scored yet. And if we don't get anything against that lot, then Golden fucking Bennett. I'm giving up on football.
Right.
Well, you can go, can't you? The circus was full last night for performances. Be able to go, won't you?
Is it? Will I get done for bullying for picking on a child tonight?
Got this. Once again, we have got crackling. We're getting crackling. I don't know who it is.
That sounds like a phone near a microphone, gentlemen. Move your phones away from your microphone.
Oh,
here we go. Have we sussed the idea now? Well done, Mr. Bloom.
You know something?
He's a musician after all. He won't know about interference.
I genuinely, I've just spent the last 20 seconds going, where's my phone? Where's my phone?
Using it.
I'm using it.
So, yeah. So it can't be you then. So everybody either turn off your phones or whatever. We'll see if we can get rid of that. Maybe that's what it is.
Turn off my phone. You won't see me. Oh, actually, to be fair, I wouldn't.
That's brilliant. Brilliant deduction from Benjamin. That's brilliant. So I think it could be. It may even be my phone because my phone was nearby. So. I will hold my hands up if it is. Right, we shall move on to Benjamin Bloom, who had a wonderful result against a bunch of schoolboys. I think it was quite an easy rollover for you, an under-16 side versus you lot from Ipswich, a good professional team and bunch of kids. What do you think?
Well, for once, our finishing was actually decent, and we were 3-0 up. 3-0 up at half time. So I won't say much because I'm not one to toot my own horn, but we're top of the league and have 13 points now from 5 games, I believe. 4 wins and a draw. So very, very good start. But I will also say this is exactly what happened last season, and we finished 11th. So
would
I'll
this
give you
be
both
one of your
sides
best starts to a season for Ipswich? Would you say, Benjamin? Is it? You haven't broken any records or anything, have you?
We're odd because we tend to start most seasons fairly well, and then kind of fall apart later on. So this is not out of the norm, but please, can we just hold on to it? Stop the clocks now, and every Ipswich fan will be very, very happy.
Yes. Well, I suppose we might as well move on to me. Who unfortunately, my team of schoolboys lost to a very powerful Ipswich team 4-1. So we were on the other, and it felt a little bit like, if I'm being honest, Benjamin, we felt watching it on, we were doing a live watch along, and it seemed like Ipswich just said, right, go on, Blackpool, let's see what you've got for 15 minutes. I had a look at us for 15 minutes and thought, is that it? Is that actually all you've got? Go on, then we'll just go down and get a goal because we're a bit bored with this. So they had an attack. And on your first attack, you actually scored straight away. And then on your second attack, you scored again. And on your third attack, you scored again. I think I'm
just worried we've used up all our clinical finishing in one half of one game. And that's it for the season now.
Yeah, your first goal was an absolute worldie of a finish from your right back.
From the 35-year-old right back, yeah.
Who'd run the full length of the pitch to get into the penalty area, to be totally unmarked by anybody. Nobody'd seen him trundling along into the box, to have a completely free shot, which he did hit like a worldie, but there was no defender on him within 5 yards. They were all our defenders were watching the near post, and he was at the far post kind of, and he just smashed it in, didn't he? It was brilliant. It was a brilliant finish. But for us, I'm thinking, who's picking him up? Who's picked that run of that defender up all the way into the box and not been on him or not seen him? Or it was incredible. And the second goal, we were listening to Radio Lancashire commentary, and the Ian Chisnell, who does the commentary there, he thought the ball had hit the side netting and was behind the goal. He didn't even think it was a goal. It was because it went in on the near post, didn't it? Completely beat on the near post. Again, you just skin this defender that Dore was from. We got from Forest, is Gabriel, and Dore was telling you he's a brilliant defender. But I've read a lot about him, and they say he's great going forward, but he can't defend, and it just looked a bit like that to me. No idea that your left winger skinned him for fun. Third goal. Well, it was game over by 2-0 because we haven't come back from 1-0 yet. So we knew once the second goal went. It
Guys,
was
there's
over,
another 3 goals to go, by the way. Get comfortable.
Yeah.
I just started to think, Lee,
you're falling asleep here. I've got to get it off my chest. I've just got to get it off my chest because it was so bad. It was unbelievable. In fact, I was saying to the guys before Jane started playing a game of I Spy with My Little Eye in the second half just for something to do. And she came up first of all with I Spy with My Little Eye, something G. And of course I went grass, and she went yes. And then people started posting in the comments, I Spy with My Little Eye. Somebody put PP. I just went piss poor straight off because that was everything. That was the only thing I could think of. It was so bloody bad. Anyway.
I've got to go and buy Spy. I Spy.
Yeah, going GD.
Baby. Absolute bollocks is what we've listened to for the last 5 minutes.
We're shit and we know we are. Honestly, I had an interview. We had an interview with Benjamin Bloom. I did something with you, and you said in the interview quite clearly that we were playing very, very well, but the results will either turn and we'll start playing the way that our performances are going, or the other side of the coin will start playing the way that our results are going. And so, that was the worst we've played. So we're going backwards, and nobody can understand why we do we rearrange the games with Ipswich, who are flying, with 2 centre halves we've just got in, but we can't play him because one's on international duty and one's from Iceland. I don't know if he's cleared international clearance, but it was a crazy game to play, and we paid the price of it. Anyway, that's my whinge for now. So we'll move on to Scotland. We've got 2 lads in from Scotland. I don't know if you want to do it separately. I've got a question here from Football Prime Ginger. Hello everyone, all you well. What's your score predictions for the Old Firm? So I suppose Celtic have 6 players out, Rangers have 5, including Kent and Brazil. Do you know all about this? Would you like to talk about that? You can cover that for
can we
us.
do a wee piece on the Old Firm later? Because we've got some stuff to talk about Scotland. And,
okay.
Fraser's team Dundee played at the weekend as well. So
Yes.
we've got a fair bit to cover.
Right, go on then. So
Right,
we'll start with Gogsy then. Go on.
Starting off, Scotland played 2 matches, and I think we can count on one hand the amount of shots on target we had over the 310 minutes of football we played.
Yes.
One shot on target, 1 goal. But
one shot.
No goals conceded, however, so it's a step in the right direction. I mean, it's not really the best brand of football to be watching. It's very negative, but it's been grinding out results, and we're unbeaten in 7. So we played Israel on Thursday night, took it into extra time. Yeah, not the best, but we won on penalties, very professionally done. And then we went and beat Slovakia 1-0 on Sunday night with a lovely goal from Lyndon Dykes. Over to you, Fraser.
But he's not Australian, though, is he?
Well, he's Scottish now, mate. Doesn't matter.
Calling him in from anyway now, eh? Shocking.
So, I'll just pull that in for. I knew that'd make you laugh. The Wheelstone Raiders here.
That's just absolute pure banter right there. If that geezer is in the building.
Oh my God. We'd love to know if that is the actual real Wheelstone Raider, because I don't know if anybody remembers the Wheelstone Raider, but he became really popular with a hit single and everything, didn't he? He was fighting everybody. He was ace.
He was offering out more people than Dor does.
He wouldn't offer anybody out for a fight, wouldn't he? Right, moving on to Fraser. Come on, tell us about Dundee then.
Well, we were supposed to play the night after last week's stream, but I got called off because opposition Forfar reported a COVID case, and because of the cup ruling and stuff, and they can't rearrange cup games, we got the 3-0 victory by default. So it's not the way that you want to win games, but you'll take them. God bless the Forfar player, heart goes out to him. But that's football. Played on Saturday, went up to Brora, which is up at the arse end of Scotland, and got a comfortable 2-0 lead. 2-0 win, sorry.
Right. So a good week for you then. Good week for you. By default. Win by default and a win by default. I was actually going to talk about this later, because I don't know if you saw the situation with Tranmere Rovers this week. Have you all read that?
Yeah. It's what annoys me. They ended the season because of this pandemic, and they went down. However, they got told during a pandemic, the same pandemic, a few months later, if they don't fill the squad, they could get deducted 15 points.
It's an
absolute disgrace.
It is a disgrace. I totally agree with you.
EFL, I'm not being funny. They might as well just do a lucky dip to see what they're going to do next. It's like someone from Ben and Jerry's on the EFL. It's like, what's happening? Do you know what I mean?
I don't know. Does everybody know what happened? Do you all know? Because well, there's been a statement put out by Tranmere Rovers, and basically they had 2 players who have been tested positive for COVID-19, and then there was a couple of players also then were having to self-isolate on the track and trace thing, so they'd lost 4 players. And I think there was another one, wasn't there, that was totally unrelated, and he was in track and trace as well. So basically, I think there was 5 of their team who would have played, couldn't play. So they requested, the game to be, postponed, because it was an international week anyway. There was loads of games not on. So, they said, we've got this problem with COVID-19. We can't field the full team. Can we postpone it to later? Well, the EFL came back to them and said, if you do that, we may have to deduct you up to 15 points if you don't play this game. And they didn't say it was guaranteed they were going to deduct them 15 points, but they just what's the matter?
No, I just wanted the comments that someone's put in about nappers.
Oh, about nappers. Okay. So they basically played the game. I mean, they did okay in the end. They got back from 2-0 down, and they got a 2-2 draw at Salford. But I just think it's a disgrace. And we've got this pandemic going on, and the EFL don't seem to be taking into any consideration at all that, the teams. And I know it's a bit of a nightmare, but you would think if games are being postponed, for the international break, that surely they could have been given time to get themselves back together, Tranmere. And I just think the EFL are just wrong in every way. What do you all think
would be last season when we should have played Bolton?
What would be the alternative solution?
Well, I think they should have just let them postpone it along with all the other games that were postponed.
So how many players would you need sick to postpone it? Didn't Wales play with 7 missing against Ireland? Am I right about that?
Yeah. Well,
So
I think the other big talking point out of that game, Salford, who have 1-2 drawn 3, only lost 1 game, sacked the manager today. They're 5th in the league, unbeaten.
Put Golden in charge now until he gets someone new.
Alexander's ex-Fleetwood as well, so I know his football is dull and a bit. He's got the best squad in the league there. Ian Henderson, Hunter, Richard Towell, for example, Ash Easton. But for me, I don't go, why are you sacking a manager after 5 games? And you've not lost a game yet. You're 5th in the league. And it's like, what's going on? Like, I don't know if you guys saw it.
Yeah, I think there's something more to that than what we're reading into. There's got to be.
Yeah.
Look, Scholes is fucking dog shit at being a manager or coach, right? He walked out on his boyhood team for crying out loud. Now he's back at the boys' club where he thinks he's not. He'll fail, just like he failed at Oldham, and then it'll be back to square one again. Salford, I'm glad it's happened to him because this is the worst thing that they've done right now.
I suspect Mr. Scholes will be manager for a not very long time, and then the person who they've actually want to be their manager, who for whatever reason they can't do right now, will then take over. But they obviously think
Roy Keane.
Obviously, oh God.
Roy Keane has been there.
Mention those words to an Ipswich fan,
right?
please don't.
Ash Hunter, right? Ex-Fleetwood, right? Good player, very good technical. Had a fallout with Barton. Imagine having a fallout with Roy Keane. If I met Roy Keane, I'd be like, yes, Mr. Keane, yes, Mr. Keane. Like, he is the scariest guy I think I've ever met.
What are you on about?
Can I just say, though, it happens with players all the time, every season. A player will play really well, be in a promotion team, they'll go up and they just get bombed out. A new player comes in. If it goes wrong, they'll look stupid, but they obviously feel that they're worthy with all their millions and famous owners. They obviously feel they're worthy of a better manager than Alexander. Let's see who comes in and how they do, but they'll have egg on their face if they don't go up, won't they?
Wow.
Yeah, definitely.
Interesting to see what happens there because they're a team that got the resources to do it, but they just seem to be playing the big time Charlie. This is who owns us. So it'll be interesting to see what happens there. But
you've got people playing Football Manager real life. That's what it is. They are a bigger profile than Glenn Tamplin. Exactly that. That's all it is.
Yeah.
This guy, though, Loudmouth, this Peter Lim they've got behind them has got more money than God, though. So they're not going anywhere. And they may get stuck in the league a couple of times, but they're only going one direction in the end, aren't they? With that money.
I'm surprised they didn't give Gary Neville the job. Couldn't have done any worse.
I think it was a game of heads or tails between Paul Scholes and Gary Neville. Heads, you take it, Gary. I'll take it if it's tails.
No, after what he done with Valencia, I don't think he'll ever walk back into football management ever again.
He's got PTSD for football. No, genuinely, he has, hasn't he? He does not want to be a manager again. I suspect he'd probably be quite a good manager at some point, but he just does not look interested in it, does he?
What about if hire his brother, Bill?
That's not a bad shout, actually.
No. See, look, I thought Phil was overrated. He only got the England women's job because of his profile. He's another person that's shit.
Oh, no, I know he's shit, but what I'm saying is it screams as right manager because they'll go, he's done the England Lions job, and they'll be like, you can walk into this, do it, and it's another one of the ones they know him, so they can control what he does.
By the way, can we just say Scholes is an interim? He's not permanent, he's an interim.
Exactly.
Manager.
Yeah.
So before we get on the high up, and I think with Salford, I think Forever in Blue Jeans by Neil Diamond just sums that football club up. Do you know what I mean?
Could you sing a bit for us, Snappers?
It's the best song, honestly.
Come on.
Wait, don't sing around.
Why have we never done this before?
Get karaoke on.
Sing along with Nappers.
Karaoke with Nappers.
Yeah, that is my new favourite segment.
Yeah, come on, we've got to have a song every time of there.
Somebody's asking about Harvey Saunders there in the comments. Ben, does that mean anything to you? I don't know. You tell us.
Harvey Saunders, right? He signed from Darlington, and he was at what Summit Castle. What was that castle that MP went to test his eyesight out? What was it? When he tested Barnard Castle as a young kid. As a young kid, he was there, right? Then he went to Darlow and he worked in Costa Coffee. And we signed him. And Barton said in his press conference the other day, after 6 months, I nearly got rid of him because I thought he was SHIT, basically, and sent him back to Costa Coffee. But however, he's one of those lads that Barton said he worked in his game and he's always wanted to get better. And he came into the side at the back end of last year off the bench, the odd 20 minutes. Came in this year, scored against Carlisle twice, and then came on against Rochdale, scored. Played 90 against Villa, scored hat-trick. Played against Hull, 2 goals and an assist. And he's an unbelievable prospect. And I don't want to put pressure on him to be the next Vardy, but he's a good player, fast, good in behind, lethal in front of goal, and a very good striker. He's already got 8 goals this season. So already a very good prospect. I think he's actually got more goals than Blackpool's whole team out this season, by the way.
That's not hard, Ben, to be honest. That's not hard. I'm ready for it. I know. I'm muting myself so you can't hear me swearing.
No, come on, kick off. I want to see it.
Oh, come on.
Honestly, I could really swear about it all at the moment.
We put
£20 on automatic. It's not looking like it's going to happen, if I'm being honest.
Chuck your 20 quid away.
I'm starting to not believe, I'm afraid to say. It's just but you never know. It's early days. It can all turn around, as you know. This whole
Can we just say
yes.
there's no tissues in George's house, because all he's done ever since Fleetwood beat Hull is cry and cry and cry. Oh, you beat Hull. Oh, you're going to win the league now, aren't you? It's like, calm down, mate. Just because you're losing at the moment and we won a game of football doesn't mean you need to cry about it. Like, just for once, I've never said we're going to go up after that result. Just get some tissues, dry your eyes, and maybe you win a game of football.
What are these magic tissues then that make you all of a sudden win games of football?
Yeah. Well,
don't send them to Matt.
Fucking hell, where can I buy them? I'll buy a whole pot. I'll buy a fucking warehouse if it means we're going to win.
Due to the pandemic, mate, they're currently out of stock.
Yeah, mate, you're right. There's no toilet roll in Tesco's. Fuck it,
we're getting quite a lot of comments coming in. Has anybody noticed anything you want me to put up and you want to talk about? I'm just going through.
Someone was giving me and Gogsy a shout out.
What was that? Which one was that? Who was
that? Magic Mike's Game in HD.
Oh, Magic Mike's Game in HD. Well, that's probably way back. So I'll see if I can find him. I might not be able to find it. There's a lot coming since then.
Do you want to just do a bit more singing, Nappers?
In all fairness, just thinking about it, Nappers, talk to me about these magic tissues of yours.
Did they have
that kind of podcast, man?
Certain things.
Keep it PG, then.
You win your games of football, and to be fair, it'll keep the tears away from Joe, because that's all he's done. Because it'll bring up the playoffs constantly, and it's like, well, you know what I mean.
I thought you didn't know what the playoffs were.
What?
I thought you didn't know what the playoffs were.
I'm sorry?
I thought you didn't know what the playoffs were.
Can you explain what you're talking about?
No, all right, continue. I don't care, man. Just continue.
Oh, yeah, there we are. Yeah, there we go. I found it. Mike's Gaming AC, legendary Fraser and Gogsy. Wow, that's so you're legendary up there, boys. That's good to hear. Yeah, that's good.
Oh, that's a good question as well from Gurney.
I hope is there.
God.
I've got Stephen Cram saying, do you think Gareth Southgate is a good England manager?
Now, that's a good question, because that's one of my questions I want to ask people during the phone-in. So if we want to hold on, or we can discuss that, it's all there if you want to.
Okay, we can save that for later if that's one of your questions.
Benjamin might not be here, so I don't know if Benjamin wants to give his opinion.
All I would say is if anyone suggests he's not, they need to suggest and put forward someone who they would consider would be better. That's all I would say as a criteria.
I ain't got anyone who could be better than him. I think he's a very good manager for what he brings.
And it's a very unique job, isn't it?
Yeah. To be fair, he's the one person that took the job when nobody else wanted it. And it's always been that job.
He didn't even want it, Jake.
No, he didn't. I know he didn't. And that's the thing. It's that stupid thing. He's making the best of a bad situation, if that makes sense. And he's, to his credit, it's working. But some of the games just don't feel good to watch.
Well, I watched the game on Saturday, and I thought first half, we could have been a couple down, couldn't we? We got away with that goal, and the penalty was a terrible tackle. Well, mistimed. It was penalty all day long, and you're thinking, God, this is going to run away. I'm thinking Blackpool here. We're going to be 4-0 down at our time, but second half, we picked up. We got the penalty with Rashford. I thought second half we were definitely the better team, but we did ride a couple of bits of luck where they could have scored, couldn't they? But I thought on the whole, we could have had a couple more.
Very reactive football, though, isn't it? It's very right. Let's see what the other team do, and then react off that, rather than take it to we have some good players. Can we play through this? But I suppose we didn't have our captain, if that makes a difference. But
we have Mason Mount. Mason Mount, remember, he's a lover boy for Southgate. Jack Grealish can't get a game. What's that about?
So we've got Lisa Howard saying she can see Frank Lampard being England manager at some point in his career. Do you think? Possibility?
As well at Chelsea, yeah.
Good shout, isn't it? The Fleetwood vlogger is here also asking, do you think Jordan Pickford should be completely dropped from England or not?
And replace him with who?
Exactly.
Who else have we got?
You've got Tom
Pickford, Henderson in the squad.
Henderson probably the best bet, but he needs to be playing games.
Yes, agreed.
If he was in the Sheffield United team like he was last season, playing again, I'd say Henderson all day long. But he's not playing, and he won't be for a while because for some reason De Gea is ahead of him.
He's kind of damned if. Sorry, Matt. He's kind of damned if he does and damned if he doesn't, because half of the people say pick the players in form, and then when he picks the players in form, they say he's not being loyal to people like Pickford, who's been in the squad for ages. The other half of the people say have a stable squad and a stable team, and then everyone else says pick the players on form. So,
but then again,
whatever he does, he can't win.
But then again, he's also said he will only pick players on form, and then doesn't, and then gets one out of left field that hasn't.
So he may have made a rod for his own back. Then, with that being said, yeah.
It's a weird job because it turned into a job no one wants. If you get the England job, you just got to grin and bear it and hope for the best. At some
Poison chalice, isn't it?
Yeah, very much so.
Try being the Scotland manager.
No expectations, though. There's
no expectations, so it's all right.
You expect to fail.
There is a lot of expectations at Scotland. We just never fulfill ourselves.
I'd love to see in the Euros against England. Do you think you will beat? Do you think you'll beat in the final? Do you think you'll win in the final?
You're joking. Do you think we'll beat Serbia?
No, but
correct.
You've only got Matic, Mitrovic.
If we had them at Hampden, I'm just saying, if we had them at Hampden, I would have more faith. But we're managing one shot on target against Slovakia. We're against a Serbian team that's just managed to strangle Haaland. I mean.
So, Gogsy, what are the expectations then? Because every tournament England get into say, they should get to the quarterfinals. What are the expectations now as a Scotland fan when you don't have elite players anymore like you used to?
2 shots on target.
One thing that bugs me about Scotland as a nation is it's a wee bit of arrogance. Like, for example, when Scottish clubs go out to European football and they play against, say, the Eastern European teams, and they expect a walkover of a victory. For example, Motherwell going over to Israel, we got beat 3-0 by Hapoel Beersheva, and everyone's like, that's an embarrassing result, etc. But we're playing against teams that are from better resourced leagues. Like, the Israeli league's got more money than the Scottish league, for example. But feeding into the international setup, I mean, we've got all these players such as Andy Robertson, John McGinn, but Andy Robertson's being limited to his ability because he doesn't have the likes of Van Dijk, Salah to play alongside. So he cannot cover, as Fraser says quite a lot when we talk about this, he can't cover corner flag to corner flag because he's always got to stay. He's like being told to refrain from expressing himself on the left-hand side. And we've got that all over the park. I mean, we've got players that on paper should be playing in the Euros, but really, I don't think the chemistry is there just yet. But I think...
Go ahead, go on.
Sorry, I think Steve Clarke is trying to work into a system that is going to make us harder to beat, but it's not exactly going to be an attacking formation that we ever play, which I disagree with.
I think club fans...
Sorry, Ben, go on.
Yeah, sorry, I'll just quickly go. I think club fans, going back to what you said about Robertson and what Napper's said about Grealish, I think club fans struggle to process the fact that a team is set up in a totally different way. And you're totally right. Robinson doesn't have Van Dijk inside him. And for Villa, and I was thinking about this about Calvin Phillips as well. For Leeds, every attack, every restart, he drops between and they know it's going to go through him and out, literally everything. And then for England, he's sat there and he's basically going to come onto the play. And it's the same with Grealish and Robertson as well. Grealish at Villa, you know, everything's set up to get him one-on-one in space against someone. And for England, it's just not like that. Sorry, Dan, what were you going to say?
Pretty much that. Along the same lines of that. You covered it.
Sorry.
What a lot of people don't realise is the international manager tries to fit the best players that will fit into his system. For example, people were complaining that when Motherwell were bottom of the league before the first international break, we still had 2 players called up to the Scotland squad in Declan Gallagher and Stephen O'Donnell. And that's because Steve Clarke believes that they will play the system that he wants them to play, which is 3 at the back with 2 wing backs. And a lot of people didn't really see that until now. And we're starting to reap the rewards from defensive performances. But I would like to see a bit more attacking intent.
I can remember an international team once winning the World Cup being a one-man team, but the one man was Diego Maradona, which is probably a mitigating factor. Yeah.
Sorry, so I had to say that.
Lee.
I'm on mute. I was muted, guys. I'm just trying to find out who this crackle is. I am saying if we just all mute ourselves and we're not talking, we might just find why we're getting a crackle. We are just getting a crackle, folks. If you're tuning in and we just can't quite figure out where it's coming from, but we are trying to rectify.
Try and solve the mystery. Where's the
so what was the question? Sorry, I'm going through that many comments and stuff here.
Or just blame Ben Natman.
What were you asking me? Sorry.
Oh, just to host the show.
Oh, to host the show, yeah. Well, okay. I don't think the crackle's me, so I'll leave myself in not muted because I don't think the crackle's coming from me because I've been muted for quite a while and it's not. Let's have a look. Somebody asked about who's done the best transfer business this season of your clubs. Are you happy with your transfer business?
Won't be able to say anything until Friday for me because I think it's all going to be last minute for Wednesday.
Right.
What are you expecting to happen, Jake?
I'm expecting us to try and bring in about 4 defenders because we lost 4 defenders straight away. We need an attacking midfielder and we need a striker because we're not scoring enough goals. And the problem is attacking midfielder and striker cost money and we don't seem to want to spend it this year, even though we can. But I think that's because Chansiri's been burnt in the past while trying to build something and going after the likes of Jordan Rhodes and it not paying off. I think he's scared to commit the money to another player who got that ability, but then it just not work out. And I think he's trying to, to be fair to me, he's still trying to figure out how to run a football club. And yes, he's been here, 5 seasons now, 6 seasons, and it's still not worked out yet. So I'm starting to wonder if he needs to get more people to help him. But ideally, we did before we played the game before international break. I would have said winger, striker, and maybe another backup midfielder, someone created in the middle just in case like Izzy Brown got injured. But now we just need an entire back 4 because we were just so unlucky in that game, and it's now like we're starting to see the effects of having a very short preseason, and because it's things like hamstrings have gone and stuff like that. So they've not had that season. I'd be happy if we got Jacob Murphy back from Newcastle, but I can't see it happening because he's starting to play well now. So we'll see what happens. But there's a lot that we need to get in, but I don't know what we can get done. Monk has said he wants 6 to 7 players in before the window.
Has he got a transfer budget?
Well, this is the thing. I have no idea what his transfer budget on. All we've spent this season is £1 million on players.
Oh, only $1 million? Oh, Gordon Bennett. Oh, no. How can you survive on that?
To be fair, for us, that's really low because we were spending like 4, 5, 6 million one season. So to only spend $1 million is kind of like that, not much. And it was Windass from Wigan and Patterson from Cardiff. Now
we don't spend 2 bob on players, and you're moaning about $1 million.
Different world, Matt. Different world.
Right,
honestly, you football lot lads don't know how. You don't know you were born. I tell you.
Joey Barton said in an interview the other day, we are going through the rubbish bins to get a centre half and a right back in.
That's saying it right there.
No, this is Barton said literally. He goes, it's like looking through the rubbish bins, but then he said, well, because we're looking at Premier League loans, we're more looking like M&S finest range. So it's not kind of the crap range. It's kind of like the better quality. So there's a little bit of life left in the bin.
Well, Nappers, we had it one year that we looked at 200 centre-backs and brought in Van Aken from Germany. And he's a good player, but it's like Wednesday fans are currently unsure what's going on because we're in a rebuilding situation. We lost so many players last season. And we're still in that kind of trying to figure out what Monk wants to do because I'm still not 100% sure if he's going to be a defensive manager with a bit of attacking thing, or you're going to go for attacking. But right now, it's still early days for him because this is his first proper season. We can judge him because it'll be bringing in his own players. He's got his backroom staff now. So I'd be happy if we just got some defenders and a striker, but we'll see what happens.
I'd be happy if we could shop in B&M because right now it's Poundland finest.
But Matt, seriously, any team that doesn't have championship parachute payments or has not just sold a player for a load of money is exactly what that Joey Barton quote is. Literally, that's half the championship teams as well. So there's not actually... Look, I know obviously there is a big difference between what Barnet would spend and what Sheffield Wednesday would spend. But essentially, unless you have Champions League money, Premier League money, parachute money, or you've sold a big player, nobody has any money. And I'm sure we're going to parlay into the subject that that all goes into.
I do see your point, but then I do see, and I've seen the teams like Burton. How did they manage to do it then on a shoestring budget? So
they had money, yeah.
It can be done.
They had money, but they had a very good scouting system. A lot of it goes down to scouting systems. If you've got a good scouting system, you'll be able to pick up a really good player for next to nothing.
And in the end, what happened to Burton? 2 seasons in the Championship, run at break even. Where do you end up? Yeah. What happened to Rotherham? Break even. Rotherham made a profit. Relegated.
Barnsley and Rotherham don't want to spend that extra bit of money to progress because they know if they stay where they are, they can just keep yo-yoing. And that's the thing. There's a lot of teams that will just yo-yo for ages. Look at West Brom.
What's the point in that? Like, there's no fun in that. I would rather see my team progress as far as possible.
Yeah, but the problem is we got money to spend, but we're not allowed to spend it because we overspend it. We get hit by financial fair play.
So does everybody else.
So, but that's the thing. Everybody else, you're not allowed to spend too much money. But if you're coming down from Premiership to Championship, you've got the parachute payment, so you can spend what you want, and that's where it doesn't work. If you've got money coming in, you're kind of getting rewarded for getting relegated, if that makes sense. So you get money season, but everyone else, you have to hit to a certain bit. So the teams that have got relegated now, you'll see them spending a lot of money. The only difference is the likes of Norwich are very good at selling players on and then reinvesting it. So it's a really, really difficult one. And I don't think clubs in the Championship have learned yet to manage how to do fair play properly. Because it's either you sell your best players and then rebuild again and then don't get any closer, or you keep your best players, you spend more money, and then when it comes to the bit where you got to show your finances, it's like, well, here you go, you're going to get hit with a charge because you've overspent. There's no clear way to fix it yet.
Well, Jake, they either haven't learned or it's a rubbish, horrible system.
I think it's the last one. It's definitely the last one. I speak to so many fans who were in the Championship who just turned and said, we can, Ben, we got the money, we just don't want to get hit with anything. You have, it's very unfair if you got, I always said if when they got taken over before QPR went up, we probably would have spent and got up and maybe stayed there, but it's very difficult to do it. You can do it on a shoestring budget. Teams like Sheffield United have shown that you don't have to go over, but you've got to have the right things behind the scenes to get it right.
But that's the same with you then, ain't it? That's the same with you. You said you've got the money, just be sensible with spending it.
Yeah, but our owner doesn't know how to run a football club. That's the issue.
Blackpool got in on a shoestring, an absolute shoestring. You know, we got in the Premier League.
These examples you're talking about, guys, are the rarities. There's
of course they are.
Huddersfield. There's your Blackpool example. How long ago was that? 12 years ago?
2010.
Yeah.
2010.
So there's Huddersfield with Webber. There's Sheffield United with Chris Wilder. There's Leeds. They had no parachutes, but they're Leeds and they paid Bielsa £3 million a year. And Watford did it with no parachutes, but Watford they're your yo-yo guys. They know how to do it. Otherwise, it's all whoever spent the most money or who had parachute payments.
And it's risk.
Very hard system to crack. Believe me, I've studied it.
It's risk and reward. Do you risk it all and go for it? And we've done that already. We risked it with getting Jordan Rhodes in and co and tried to put the boat out. And we hit that risk. And now we're paying for it because we didn't get the reward. So it's very hard to get it right. And if you get it right, it's fantastic. But if you don't get it right, you get a little bit what we're doing now, but ours is more due to our own of just setting up so many sodding companies and moving money around and stuff. So it's a hard one. It's a very, very hard one. If you can get it right, it'll work. But if you don't, you could be paying the reward and having to sell players the following season just to make even.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's one of those things where it seems you have to spend a lot of money to get yourself in the Premier League, and the trouble is chasing this Premier League is putting so many clubs in so much trouble. You know, chasing this money. So, you know, we will talk about this new idea from the Premier League after 9 o'clock and see if we think that's going to solve the problem or just going to make everything worse. But yeah,
I think it's a case of get rich or die trying. I would rather go shit or bust, have the glory years, and be a yo-yo team from non-league to League Two.
I think with this new idea,
all I know. That's all I know. Being a Barnet fan,
I think this new idea, all it is basically what Liverpool and United want to do by taking control. Oh, they're the big ones. It's like Benjamin Bloom coming in here, 12,000 subscribers the most, deserved, and saying, "This is how your channel should be run, Lee. If I'm going to come on, your channel should be run like this. You should do this. You should do this. And I want it to run like this." It's like, well, I'm not being funny. It's like this is like your wife. Do you know what I mean? Going, you're not going to the football. You're not doing this. And it's like, why should they have control? Don't mind them helping the EFL out, but why should I have control? Because they could at any 1 minute say, we'll change it again. We'll change it again. And who's going to choose the two teams that go down? How's it fair on Burnley? How's it fair on Brighton? They finished 16th in the Prem. Why is it fair for them to go down?
You know, Benjamin's right there.
Yeah.
You know, he's right there.
I just praised
Were you talking about Benjamin's wife there? Was that a little dig?
A wonderful woman.
She doesn't have to stay on longer than an hour.
It's not aimed at Benjamin's wife. It's a typical girl.
Right there.
Yeah, how dare your wife not let you go to football, Benjamin? How dare she?
No. The first bit was the wife, it wasn't. Ben, I promise.
We all understood the metaphor, Nappers. It's okay, don't worry.
Sorry. I wasn't quite sure. To be honest, I need this metaphor explained to me. So you were comparing Liverpool and Manchester United's power at the top of the Premier League to somebody's wife.
No, right. Listen, right.
Explain for the lads and everyone watching.
Ben, Nappers, I'm going to help you. Nabbers. The reason why a woman has the power, okay,
Yeah.
you will learn it one day.
I do know. No, but listen, I think, because Ben Wembley's got the biggest channel, he could say, "Oh, do this." And I think with Liverpool United, they are the biggest clubs in the Premier League. Those top
They
six
are.
who bring in the most money. Then I listened to Ben's video. Who makes up the top 9? Are Leicester in it? Or Wolves in it? Do you know what I mean? Who's in the top 6?
So the big 6 is Liverpool, Man United, Man City, Arsenal, Tottenham, Chelsea. And the other 3, let me just make a point real quickly. Everton, Southampton, West Ham.
West Ham, yeah.
I'm sure there's about 3 of us on this call can remember Manchester City being in League One not so long ago.
Leicester finished in the top 6 last season.
Yeah.
And Leicester finished in the top. Apparently there's going to be a
financially
3-year
the biggest
rolling standard for this. So if you have 3 poor seasons in a row, you're then penalised. So
is that how's that going to work? So they're going to be penalised.
So it's
finish
about,
like out of the top where?
Essentially, it's a way of measuring the status of the Premier League teams. So, for example, if Manchester United now finished, I don't know, 14th, 16th, and 16th, they would lose what they're proposing as the special voting rights that they would currently get as one of the big 6. Even the term big 6 makes me want to do violent things to myself.
Well, like the international rankings, kind of the better you are, the higher the rankings.
Exactly like that, yeah.
But I mean, teams like West Ham to me they haven't been in all that long. I mean, they went, they got in 2011, didn't they? I think the 2010-11 season against Blackpool, they got promoted then. So, are they one of the big 9? West Ham, would you say? No. Really? Southampton, would you consider them one of the most
massive club? But the last 2 seasons they've been poor. Where the last
they've been hanging in, haven't they? They've been hanging in.
I don't think it's fair that you can kick one team out. And if you're a Brighton or a Burnley, so the problem is, like Ben said in his video, they're trying to muscle in with the EFL. So if they got 72 club, like our chairman's a big fan of it. Well, if you weigh 250 million pounds between clubs, as an owner of an EFL club, you are going to be interested.
Yeah, Ben, so, can I put this to you? So if you're the Fleetwood owner, right, you're probably not that bothered what goes on in the middle of the Premier League, are you? Yeah,
not really.
One day you might hope to be there in your wildest dreams, yeah. But so there may be a number of and God forbid, Ipswich maybe shouldn't be there, but they are. Maybe they would fall into the bracket as well, where they might be saying, well, look, we're nowhere near the Premier League at the moment. As Jake has just said, the system absolutely sucks to get out the Championship. You haven't got parachute payments. We'll get into bed with the devil for the 350 million quid that the EFL is going to get, but someone gets shafted. At the moment, it's the EFL teams. If the EFL teams go down this route, then Brighton, Palace, Burnley, these teams that are not part of the 9, then they're going to feel like they're the ones. They're now in the big league, but with no special voting rights. And the whole thing boils down to trust, doesn't it? Because if you say to me, we're going to give some extra power to some of the top teams, okay, fine. But I can't guarantee what they're going to do with it. And like Napper said, are they next season going to reduce it to 17 teams? The following season reduce it to 16 teams. Then we're going to get rid of the playoffs, and they're the only people that can vote on this. And we've all voted basically to screw ourselves. Then,
that's the thing. You don't know what they're going to do in the future if they have all this power, do you? I mean, it's just
needs to be heavily written in
to the devil, really, isn't it? Because they're not. These teams, these top teams have been trying now for quite a few years to start this European Super League off, and they've already expanded the Champions League, haven't they, to lots more clubs in it, and they're kind of going into this money that's in the the European game, and I don't trust them. I don't trust them. I don't trust them to look after the rest of football, because they don't look after the rest of football. None of it looks after the pyramid. It all just feeds itself into the Premier League, and everybody else is fighting on scraps. Really,
what it reminds me of. Sorry, go on, Daniel.
I think you touched on it though, about because the Premier League's reducing down to 18, is it?
Yeah, that's the plan.
So, like you said, who are the two teams who are going to kind of feel that drop? But then the whole EFL and the Football League is dropping down to 90 teams. So there's two teams that are going into non-league from this. How do they work that out? Is it an extended relegation and no promotion? There's not really been any sort of talk about that or any information.
It's like no one's. They put their plan together, but instead of like communicate it to everybody and say, right, this is what we're gonna. They've just gone. This is what's happening, and if you don't understand it, that's so tough.
Jake, that's a key point as well. We don't know. And I've been told I'm wrong 25 times on YouTube today and replied, have you read the proposal? No, none of us have read the proposal. So you can tell me I'm wrong after I've read the proposal. Do you know what I mean? But we don't know. It's been leaked and the Telegraph have got hold of it. But I don't know how you guys feel. I'm getting to the point where, like Lee mentions with the European Super League, I'd honestly say soon, piss off. Go on then. Yeah. Top four, get lost. Go on. We'll
if they want to go, they want to make their own league, let them do it. And for me, I think all they've thought about is themselves. Like Daniel just said, two are going down into the non-league. And I don't think they thought about that, what's going to happen to the restructure of the league. And as you mentioned before, as a Fleetwood fan, it will never affect me. But I am one that wants the best for football. I am one that wants to see football carry on in the way it is. And 20 has worked for many years. I think it was, 22 when the Premier League started? Correct me if I'm wrong.
94, 95, it went down from 22.
Got rid of two there.
And poor old Norwich got screwed that year.
The only reason they want to do it...
You hear my heart bleeding, Ben.
Yeah. The only reason they want to do it is because they'll play less games. Well, all those top six have millions and millions of pounds. That's why they have a squad. Like, 40, 50, 60 years ago, you had 13 players, you had one sub, and that's all you could bring on.
Can I just raise one point, Ben? You said something really noble and really morally virtuous then, which I agree with. I would do what's best for the game. Okay. I think we'd all want that, wouldn't we? Remember the League One vote? I'm sure Dan and Ben, let me finish, and myself all sat there trying to figure out who would vote which way. And people did not vote for what was best for the game. They voted for what was best for them. And I get it. But in the end, and we all saw Wickham vote to stop and then continue and then get promoted. So we know even when I sat down like a nerd and predicted each way, I thought every team would vote and got it totally wrong. So what's best for the game and what people actually vote for, they vote for at that moment what is best for my club and my bottom line. And that's the big issue.
In order first.
And if the politicking is done the right way, owners can be swayed into voting for something that will suit them in the short term, not the game in the long term.
Yeah, totally agree.
So
totally agree on
that. Kieran had just put out like one project, big plan proposal, a gift FA of 100 million, the Premiership handbook paid 655, details FA special shares with meaning FA can veto any changes of voting rights and promotion and relegation, both which is Manchester United and Liverpool Perry want to change. And is there a better word to use instead of gift? Is what he thought.
Sounds like a nice 100 million quid handshake, that to me.
Yeah, it does.
Just speaking from my own experience of the Premier League, obviously Blackpool were in it, and one of the things that I actually hated about the Premier League, and it was the thing that really annoyed me, was that there wasn't enough games. With 20 clubs, there wasn't enough games, and you sometimes you had 3 weeks and more waiting for a game to come on because of international breaks.
The Big Six have got Champions League every Wednesday. They don't care about Blackpool fans 3 weeks.
Yes. No, I know, but what I'm saying is those teams at the top of this, if they reduce it down to 16 clubs,
18.
18. They're all right, Jack, because they've got all these Premier League games and extra European games. But for those rest of those teams in the Premier League, it's going to be even less games than it was when I was in. And I don't think it was enough when we were in.
Lee, they want to cut the EFL Cup as well. So
that's going to be less again. Now, here's another thing I was going to say before. If they wanted to get rid of these cups, why don't why don't they say get rid of the Premier League in it and bring the Scottish teams in to one of the.
No way.
You don't come in the cup games now, right? Okay, all right. I thought it was a good idea.
Sorry, you've got some good YouTube ideas, but that is one of the worst ideas I've ever heard since my teacher thought it was good to give me homework over Christmas. I'm not being funny. I
only said it's a license to touch paper, lads.
Can I just say something before we continue? Can you imagine Plymouth Argyle playing Ross County on a Tuesday night?
I want to see it to begin with.
I want to see that on BT Sport.
I would love to see it for fans of Ross County.
The country.
Ben, please let me talk.
Well, maybe it's just the Scottish Premier League then can come into the not the whole Scottish. No, not good enough.
In the Scottish Premiership, but if you're thinking there'll be 6 Ross County fans in a big car heading down. It's just. It's just illogical.
Come in a taxi, basically. You're just going to go in a taxi to all the games. Is that what you're saying? So it's not even worth considering.
Like the SFA have already tried to do something like that with the Tunnocks Caramel Wafer Cup, what it's called now, and they brought in 2 teams from Ireland, 2 teams from Northern Ireland, 2 teams from Wales, and 2 random teams from the National League. It's just a load of shite, to be honest.
Guys, can I just put this out before I go? Biggest grossing sporting franchise in the world is the NFL. 16 teams, no relegation, 1 big Super Bowl at the end, massive TV event, Rolling Stones playing at halftime. I've been saying for years that's how it's going to end up. 16 teams in the Premier League, 20-team Premier League 2, screw the rest, is how I think they would like it to play out. And that includes Doncaster, that probably includes Ipswich, that includes Fleetwood, that includes Blackpool, that includes Barnet. Sheffield Wednesday would probably just about be in the Premier League. They'd want Sheffield Wednesday in the Premier League too. They wouldn't want Ipswich or Fleetwood because we don't have as many fans as Sheffield Wednesday. But
I beg your pardon.
It's simple numbers, Ben. I don't like it as much as you do, but it is what it is.
But is that is that football? Is that football that
no,
you have to be
it's capitalism. No,
it's not, and I don't think it'll do football any good if you're only going to allow big clubs to have success and little clubs can never have the dream. Because football is all about dreaming. Whether you're in whatever division you're in, you're dreaming about getting your team up to the top, aren't you?
Yeah, but Lee, you've forgotten it's not run by people who want to live the dream. They want to make money.
It's not very few fans running team.
But will football carry on the way it is if there is no dream?
No.
Yes, if there's still a £4 billion TV deal every few years.
So what's about now? Money.
So what's the saying?
Look, while everyone will pay 100 million for the TV rights in Thailand or whatever, just Thailand or Sweden paying 250 million, then that means that advertisers will pay a fortune because they're going to reach millions of eyeballs. That means then players will get paid a fortune. So whilst the money's there, it will not be about the dream. It will be about the money, I'm afraid, unless we somehow move into some weird socialist society after COVID and all start sharing anything. And I don't want to share because I'm greedy. I want my wine all to myself and nobody to... I'm joking, but no one's laughing. I think I've gone mad.
Just calm down.
Right, guys. Someone told me my dog needs to walk. I need to go. I'll see you all soon, yeah?
See you. Thank you, everyone. Good night. Benjamin Bloom. On that bombshell of... He sort of had a...
What's the famous saying? What's the famous saying? The rich keep getting richer. And that's all it comes down to. Football is nothing but a business now.
But do you not think they're going to ruin the... Do you not think that's just going to ruin the game?
They ruined it fucking years ago, but we're still the mugs that go week in, week out. We can't now, but you know what I mean? Because it's in our blood. We love the fucking game. It's our passion. We'll never give it up. So we're half to blame as well because we're all kicking off saying, I'm not paying this, that, and the other. We still fucking do it because we've got nothing else to do on a weekend.
It's like when you get Manchester United fans who are saying they want the Glazers out, but they'll buy shirts, they'll buy MUTV, they'll buy the season tickets. You start giving them the money, they'll fuck off.
Yeah.
And that's the simple after. You start giving them the money, they do. Hang on.
Yes or no? Like yes or no. But like Benjamin said, the football rights, so people will pay for it.
God, yeah.
They'll get money that way.
Yeah. There's always going to be a way of doing it. It's just one of those situations where you look at it and you just fear for the game of football and how we all know it and what's it going to be looking like after these kind of had their way with it. Because it's like they're just going to... And again, it's that whole situation. You've got the Premiership wanting to control it all, and then we just don't have a say whatsoever.
No, right. We are into the second half of the show, and I've been put down down below in the ticker that people can call in. You can call in about anything about football. That's it doesn't necessarily have to be this big picture thing. We have talked about it already. We'd like to know your thoughts.
I do like Lawrence's comment. I do like that idea. I love how the German model is. The German model for football is fantastic.
What we're going to do is we're going to have one fan in at a time, and I think we're going to have to limit it to about 2 minutes or something like that. Yeah. So I think Matthew's going to be the question master. So first one, and we've got Ryan in, and we can put him in there. Okay. So good evening, Ryan. Your opinion, or Matthew, do you want to ask him the questions?
Evening, Ryan. How are you? Okay, fantastic.
With no sound. Oh, is it? Is it?
Can you hear us?
Can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Right. Okay. Go on, Matthew. Fire a question at Ryan.
Right. So go and play your accent. Right. Okay. So I'm guessing you're Scottish now. So one of the questions is, as our two Scottish representatives spoke, how do you think Scotland performed in your last two games? Are you happy with it?
We're losing him, aren't we?
Because more interested.
Who would you like to talk to, Ryan? There's many of us here tonight.
Yeah, that worked.
Sorry, we just got a bad connection here. I'll just have. Sorry, Ryan. We'll have to. Sorry about that. We'll have to remove Ryan from the stream. We're just. Something's not working there. So sorry, Ryan, about that. Maybe try you later. Right. Oh, we did have somebody in, and he's gone. So right, this is all. Oh, okay. We've got Luke coming in here. We'll add him into the stream. Good evening, Luke.
Hello.
Hello, Luke. Where are you from? What's your team?
I'm from England and I support Forest.
Forest, okay. All right.
We've had you on before, haven't we, Luke?
Last week.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Fire the question, Matthew, please.
So, now that you've got a new manager, do you think it was the right appointment?
Yeah, I'm really happy with the appointment. I mean, I said Paul Cook last week, but Chris Hughton is more than a decent appointment for us.
Okay, and what do you want your expectations to be this season now that you've got a new manager?
I still think top 6 is doable. I think people were saying top 2, but just climb the table to start off with and see where we end up.
Top 2, okay. And just one question. Do you follow England?
I do, yes.
And do you think Gareth Southgate is the right manager for England?
I think he is the only one that's good enough for the job at the moment.
Out of all the managers there are, you think that he is the best person for the role right at this second?
Yeah, because he's managed the players in the under the 21, so he knows the strengths of all the players. So if you get a random manager in that doesn't really know, you have to take time to know the England players before he actually works out his tactics.
But most managers in the game know all the players and how they play and their setup and everything. You're telling me that Southgate has been really good. You don't think he's been quite fortunate in some of these games? You don't think he's been quite lucky?
I think he's been lucky in his games, but I think he is the best one at this moment to manage in England. I think in a few years' time, then maybe we change it, but I don't know. Right now, I think he is the best one of all the ones that are there.
Okay. Anyone else got any questions for Luke?
Yeah. Do you see you getting any more signings in before the window shuts? And if so, what do you want them to bring in? Considering you signed so many already, what do you think you're lacking?
I think we need a winger. Whether we get a winger, I don't know, because we've been rumoured with Anthony Knockhart from Fulham, but that's been rejected. But if we don't get a winger in, I still think we have just enough, because we have made 13 signings already. But, you know, you never know in football if we have enough signings or not.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Oh, okay. Any thoughts on this Premier League? What we've been talking about, the Premier League big picture project. What do you think? Before we let you go,
I think it's the top 6 being greedy. To be honest, I don't particularly like it, but you know, if they're going to do it, they're going to do it, aren't they?
Yeah. Hopefully not. I mean, it's got to be voted in. So hopefully as I say, the turkeys won't vote for Christmas. Thank you very much, Luke, for phoning in. We've got somebody coming in now. Thank you, Luke.
Thanks, Luke.
Thank you.
Top man.
What is
Right.
that?
Tangerine George, I think. I think that could be a picture of Ben crying. Is it, George?
Oh, Ben, mate, you've had a mare there, haven't you, pal?
Oh, wow.
Who's crying now, Ben? Who needs them magic tissues, pal?
So Tangerine George, Ben's alter ego. Oh, he's gone. Has he gone?
Yeah. Don't let him back in. Don't let him back in.
He just wanted to throw some banter at us.
Just a bit of banter, and that was it. Blimey, that was very poor, George. We had questions for you, but you just wanted a little dig at Napa as well. It's right. We've had a Forest fan. I don't know who to go to next. We don't have anybody just waiting. If you want to call in now. There are spaces available. I know Ryan comes on our show a bit, and he's a disabled fan from Rangers. So obviously, you just have to give him a little bit of time, and his connection is right. He's asking if we got Cody Big Man City. I think we had Cody in last time, didn't we? Let's bring him in. Hello, Cody.
All right,
welcome
lads.
to the show.
Hey,
all right,
mate.
Cody.
Yeah, I'm all right. How are you guys doing?
We're all good, thank you, Cody. Obviously, one of the big clubs there, Man City, in the top 6. Happy about that?
Hello.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah, but I thought what are your thoughts about the new big project picture thing that Liverpool and Manchester United are trying to do? So
we don't like it.
Hour.
Not a fan of it.
We're not a fan. We're not a fan at all.
He's been researching Joe Royal, so he couldn't watch
it. Do you know who Joe Royal is yet?
What?
No, he still doesn't know that. Right, he's too young to remember Joe Royal. But what do Man City fans think of the big?
What's your thoughts on the big picture project?
I don't know, but I'm just not fan of it. But my worries about the small clubs in the National League or even below them, and even small clubs in the football league and stuff like that. They might lose big amount of money from TV revenues and stuff like that. Or maybe something else, or maybe they lose money themselves. So that's what my worries are about. Never mind the top 6 clubs. Small clubs in the EFL should not be able to get in this position to struggle financially. So with this new project restart, no, not restart,
big picture project.
Yeah, that was it. I said project restart, but they did that in June. But
yeah,
so basically, right, I did a podcast with another City fan I did on Insta, and about what it could change the whole of English football completely. So but why could they scrap the Community Shield and the EFL Cup? That's the one thing I don't get.
Because it's not relevant anymore. That's why they think it's a little bit of we don't need it. We'll just fuck it off.
Yeah.
They don't need it, do they? I don't know. It's like the FA Cup is like, you know, to non-league is a massive thing, but even, you know, clubs in our people, you know, are not giving as much to that cup. Even in our league, you know, they're not as interested in this cup. They're only interested in the FA Cup. But I just wonder whether it should be scrapped. Is it a competition that's just not wanted anymore? Nobody seems to take it.
Wanted for years, though, unfortunately, mate. As it since the likes of Arsenal, Man U, and all that lot were playing their kids in the team. Even the FA Cup. Let's be honest, no one really takes the FA Cup seriously until they get to the semis now.
Apart from the non-league, it's massive.
Yeah.
It's massive to the non-league. So
could
the non-league,
the National League and stuff like that is massive for them because they get so much money for competing in the big competitions like the FA Cup, for example.
Oh, it's massive for them. Yes, the amount of money is incredible.
Boston United and stuff, you know, like by Boston, Alty, Stockport, and stuff like that. They get big money if they go in the FA Cup. So
they get something like 2,000 or 3,000 in the first rounds, and it goes up to 4 and 5. I think they get to about 9,000 by the time they qualify, and then it's like something like 20,000. But then it's like life changing for them. You know, it's season change. You know, they can build stands, and you know, there's so much they can do with that money. It's such little money that they need, and it's incredible that they don't get the help from the Football League without having to like scrat around trying to get through FA Cups. But it is, you know, it's such big stuff for, you know, for non-league, and I'm just wondering about this other cup. If we sack that off, you know,
the League Cup, right? Of course, City are the holders. So imagine that was scrapped out. Even if we win it, I will not be happy because I would just wait to see about how far will the EFL clubs go in the League Cup. So, and even in the FA Cup as well. So, like,
a couple of people were waiting to join in the chat. I'm just going to explain. We can only have one at a time, or it gets a bit too chaotic. So, if you want to phone in, just come in, and we'll put you in order. You know, as soon as you get through, because I know a couple have now left who were waiting. But if you just wait, we will get round to you.
I think you're obviously a City fan, and Pep will be dying for that competition, the EFL Cup, not to finish, because that's the only thing he can win at the moment to get silverware.
Yeah, so imagine UEFA done that to like the Champions League. Imagine they just scrapped that off the Champions League. Big clubs like Real Madrid, Barcelona, Bayern Munich could lose so much money if they don't play the Champions League anymore. So imagine if that was scrapped off. Same with the Europa League. So that's what I don't understand. Imagine the big project picture thing in UEFA competitions.
Thank you very much, Cody. We're totally with you, but we've had more than 2 minutes, so we're gonna move on to another caller. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Nicole. Take care.
Thank you.
A question for anyone that wants to come on.
Yeah,
now that we've been talking about this, they want to scrap the Charity Shield, the Community Shield, whatever you want to call it, the League Cup. Do you think that it's right and we should move with the times, or are they killing English or football tradition? Come on and let us know.
Community Shield's one game for me.
It's a curtain raiser.
Years, it's about the heritage of English football.
It's a curtain raiser for the season.
Exactly, it is. So come on and let us know. Are we moving with times? Get them in the bin. They're nothing but Mickey Mouse silverware, or are we losing a bit of our history as a country?
Well, to be fair, the FA Cup now even turned into that kind of thing. It used to be back in the day that anyone could win that, but now it's just top 6 that get it anyway. Even the FA Cup's starting to go down the same route. You can nearly guarantee which club's going to be in the final. And if you do get like a championship, like get in or something like that, you know it's just going to then get smacked by either City or Man United or something. Well, not Manchester United now. But you know what I mean? Just a big club like that will go in and just beat them. But even the FA Cup's gone to a point where people don't care. People just put out whatever club they want, any team they want,
because it's always won by the same team. So would it be better those teams just these clubs that want to get rid of it, would they be just better not being in it? Would it be better without them in it? Would it be would it be? I mean, I remember as a child, the FA Cup was like all day. You got up in the morning and there was like it's a knockout and there was games before and there was interviews and the whole thing built up to this 3 o'clock FA Cup, and now it's at what is it 5:30, 6?
It was not the same on TV.
Yeah,
that's why it was a big event. It was the only game on TV. My dad used to tell me
national.
but
it was on national TV, wasn't it? It wasn't on Sky or whatever, was it?
Yeah.
I mean, we have Sky. I've got Virgin TV, and we went to watch the England match in the Armfield Club, which is the new Blackpool Football Club Sports Club. We watched it there last night, but a lot of people don't have Sky, so they don't even watch the England game. Whereas, like, the whole nation would watch England play, wouldn't they? At one time, it'd be on the BBC or.
Could you make an argument that because how much football's on TV now, it diluted it?
Yeah, Chris is saying it was on BBC TV and ITV at the same time. Once again,
Tim Vine tweeted about it. Did you see his tweet on FA Cup final day about going back, do when they could see what they're eating for the breakfast, doing everything they're doing before the game? Do you know what I mean? Where
like the players' hotel, the hotel, and there was all sort of pre-match chats, and it was just a fabulous day. But it just isn't that anymore, is it? It's not even a spectacle anymore, and it's a shame. And also having the semi-finals at Wembley, it's not as good, is it?
That's what I'm saying. It's killed it all. So come on, ring up and let us know your opinions. Do we move with the times or do we stay as we are?
And do we carry on killing football? Because these decisions do seem to kill it, don't they? These decisions that they have to make semi-finals be played at Wembley have destroyed the Wembley final experience. It's not the same because you can get to Wembley without going to a final. And I don't think.
I said earlier, though, we're the mugs who continue paying for it.
Yeah.
even though it's changing, we'll lap it up, don't we?
But will we still? Will we still? I mean, I've been, I went to watch the England game and I went to watch it in a bar last night, and it's not the same as watching a match with a big crowd there. It's not the same experience without the crowd. It's it's a pretty poor product.
But would they be putting this in place if we didn't have COVID? Would
Probably.
They be trying? But I know what you're saying. They probably would, but I think they're trying to rush it even more now.
The wheels were in motion with it, but it's accelerated a bit because of the current situation. So I think they've been talk about it, but
football is a business now, and as a businessman, you look at what makes you money, what doesn't make you money. You throw away, cut off, get in the bin what is not making you money. You look to what is going to make you a bit more of a rich person. Simple as that. And this idea now, they look at the lower half of the Premier League. You ain't worth my time. Fuck off. And that's exactly it, because you get the same people saying that Fulham, what is the point of Fulham? Yo-yo club, Premiership, Championship, Premiership, Championship. Is there any point in them being around? That's what I'm saying. Ring up and let us know.
Somebody's actually posted there. Nick Muller's posted, the real fans don't even get tickets for the final. And that's another thing. I mean, they've already proposed something about people being able to go back into the boxes and the lounges. They'll be allowed to go back in, but no fans. It's going elitist, isn't it? More and more it's going away from the common man, football.
It's always the way, innit? 30,000 tickets given to corporate lot, people who are just there for a day out, know nothing about football, don't have anything related to either one of the clubs, takes it away from a real true fan. And it pisses us all off. But that ain't going to change anytime soon either. I mean, another thing is, we've got two Scottish lads in here tonight, unfortunately. But, I keep an eye on the Scottish leagues as well. And the fact that they play or potentially could play each other 4 times in one season, that is just a massive ball ache.
It's so destroying playing St Johnstone 4 times a season.
Why? You know what I mean? Why? Open the league up, make it bigger, just do a home and away for fuck's sake.
But it's like the old firm derby used to be like something you could like get behind, but you get them in the finals or semi-finals so many times it just gets really annoying to watch. Like you've seen it so many times, and it sometimes you want that derby just to be 1 to 2 games a season, and that'll be it. You get a third, sometimes it's great, but having it so many times, it's just pointless.
It's tedious. Like Gorgsy's saying, please talk like you say. You play in St Johnstone 4 times a season.
Yeah.
But the thing is, Sky loves the fact that they get the old term 4 times a season. So
And we're the mugs that pay the money to pay guys.
Yeah,
So that,
because that's what makes up for, say, St Mirren against Ross County 4 times a season. Like,
yeah.
I mean, they're not even going to televise that anyway. But I mean, they have the contract for 19 away games for Celtic, 19 away games for Rangers in the league every season, and I think it's just going to stay like that.
Gurney saying what's this? Gurney in there. St John's really enjoying playing Motherwell at least 4 times.
Especially when they lost their last game against Motherwell 1-0. So if that's the dig at Motherwell.
Did you do a vlog on that one? Was there a vlog on that one, Gorgsy?
There was a live stream actually.
Oh, very nice.
It was a shit game. I don't watch it.
We have no callers into the show. We are looking for callers into the show. What's the question again, Matt? Just put it out there. If anybody wants to call in and chat about, are we destroying?
We could talk about international football. So whatever national team that you follow, did you have a good result? Also, we're talking about Gareth Southgate. Is he the right man? Is he a bit lucky and fortunate at the moment? Going on along with this big, little, massive project for rich people and all that crap. Are we killing off competitions that we shouldn't be, or do we get them in the bin and we move forward?
It'd be interesting if you say put them in a bin and move forward, then what do you replace the cup with? Because they're going to want to replace it with something.
Are they looking to do that?
They're going to want to, because it'll equal money, won't it? Even if it's just like, say, we had the whole thing about the top 6 wanting to like go to a Super League. Maybe they do like a one-off kind of, I don't know, World Cup style thing.
So these top 6 go off to a Super League, and what, are you playing each other how many? 18 times a season?
People will pay it though. That's the problem. Even if you replace it, even if you've been off what we got now, they're just going to replace it with something that's going to get to the same point again. If that makes sense.
So that's why the European leagues get on board with it.
So you'll get the top 6 from every European country go into some Super League. So you might as well abolish the Champions League and UEFA Cup and all that lot then, ain't you?
Yeah.
So then they're not making money, they're losing money theoretically.
Like Ben said before he left, NFL brings in so much money. That'd be the equivalent to the NFL, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
So you could abolish the Champions League, the Europa League, the job lot, because you've been making it on this
didn't they
new
try
Super League.
2 seasons, maybe 3 seasons ago now, they tried bringing in a 39th game and taking it abroad, didn't they? And that people kicked off.
Didn't have legs, did it?
No. So who says that this is going to have legs? Because is this just an idea, or is this definitely going to go ahead?
Yeah, I think like we said previously, we've only kind of seen the leak, haven't we? We've not read a proper report. It could all be hot air.
Exactly, like Nab said earlier.
Behind it, obviously, but
you feel there is a bit of truth in it, though, Daniel. Don't you? You do feel there's truth in this. They are definitely wanting, something to break away and get more power and I suppose get power over the the EFL. But I mean the EFL are garbage anyway, aren't they? They're not fit for purpose anyway. So they need a complete shake up as well because they're shocking. Somebody said that if you play each other in the cup up there, Scotland in Celtic and Rangers, you've got 6 games then against each other. Do you really want that many games against each other?
One year there was actually a 7th time that they played each other.
Is that not just too many?
It's far too many. But I mean, I saw a comment above saying that yes, my team does benefit from that financially. For example, if we get to the top 6, we're playing Rangers and Celtic an extra time a season, but at the same time, I'd rather try and expand the league, give us another couple of teams to play. You've got more variety, more different fans coming in. Yes, we may lose out on an extra game against Rangers or Celtic, but that game we're probably going to get beaten anyway.
We'll just say good night to Daniel, who's got to go. Good night, 18 Dublin. Thank you very much.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you.
Take care.
So, Gorgsy, do you look at it like a potential money-making or potential 3 points? What would you rather?
I mean, from a small club's perspective, that gets generally about 5,000 fans a week at home. It's only a game that makes money for us. Anything that we can get from Rangers or Celtic's a bonus. I've always looked at it as that. The only chance I'd say we've got of beating them is at home in front of a packed crowd at Far Park, and catching them on the bad off day. But that happens maybe once or twice a blue moon. I mean, we've not beaten Rangers or Celtic. Well, I'd like to say, we beat Rangers in the playoff, and the Scottish Cup semi, but that was 2017, the last time we beat Rangers or Celtic.
It's a long time then.
Mm-hmm. So that's what potentially 8 games a season that we've just lost or drawn and not won for the last.
Your club's making money, so every time you play Celtic and Rangers, fans may as well not just turn up.
Oh, I'm not saying that. I mean, you turn up to support your team, but the thing is, nowadays people turn up to see your team win, not to see just your game.
But I've seen some of your vlogs where Motherwell have been destroyed 7-0 and 5-0.
Yeah.
Why?
Because we played shit that day. I mean, if we play well against Rangers and Celtic, we'll lose 1 or 2-0. But if we play shite, it's going to be relentless.
So it doesn't matter if you play well or you play shit, you're going to lose it away, is what you're saying. So
unless we catch them on the bad off day and we get a point out of it.
So what's the point of making money?
Exactly.
What's the point of you making money to what does the money actually do? Because it doesn't make you any more competitive against Rangers or Celtic year in, year out.
So
you're basically just going round in a big loop of never winning.
I know. That's the thing. It's Rangers or Celtic that win anything.
Chris's comment in the chat quite interesting. Man United and Liverpool both have American owners, hence the idea of making it like the NFL.
Yes.
What about Arsenal? Arsenal's got an American owner.
Yeah, he probably will be on board as well.
Yeah, that is a good point. Because obviously they want it to go that way, don't they? Where it's just, I mean, we all know about the NFL. There's no relegation. There's just the same teams every year. They share the money around, don't they? Because the team that finishes bottom of the NFL gets the first draft pick of all the kids, and they can either take the wonder boy from the college football, or they can sell it, can't they? To the highest bidder. So the money really does go round the NFL, and all the teams are very, very, they've all got lots of money, no matter where you finish.
And you've got the thing where they've got the spending cap, so you can't go over it. So if you go over it, you have to take someone off you roster to go to another club kind of thing. So in that sense, it works, but I can't see it working in football.
We have this in English football. We have this huge pyramid of football that comes from non-league and it goes all the way up through the divisions. And there's just there's grassroots football, loads of schoolboy football and all the rest of it, and academies and all the rest of it. And all that would possibly die, or a lot of it would die, if it just turned into an NFL thing where nobody could ever get into it. I don't know how football would survive, really. I don't quite see it as a.
But they look at it as in, if it is going to go an NFL thing, what do they charge? Stupid money for a 30-second advert. What's that?
Yeah,
10 million for a 30-second advert.
There was an advert.
Their money.
There was a advert last year. It was something stupid like 60 million for 30 seconds.
There you go.
And that's where they get all the money. It's all advertising. But also you've got the other thing with the NFL. There's so many breaks in it, so they can shove so many adverts in it, so they make the money there as well. So it's not.
We've got a caller. Mike's Gaming HT is waiting to come in. Just to ask you, it's just phone only. So if you want to turn your video off, and then you can just chat to us on the call, Mike. If you can do that, I'll bring you in.
I want to see what you look like.
No, you can come in. Should we bring him in on a proper? Yeah, it's all right. Yeah, we'll bring him in. Okay. Good evening, Mike. Good evening, Mike.
Evening.
Evening.
Right,
Evening, Mike. So I think fine. I think Matthew's got the question for you that we're asking before. Do you want to take over, Matt?
Yeah. So just a quick question, really. How did your national side get on last few games?
Are you England, Mike? Oh, Mike.
I can hear a lot of heavy breathing.
Yeah. Is that it?
He's got that magic tissue, isn't he?
Right. Okay. So we're removing from the stream. I don't know. It's just a bit. Right. Okay. Well, Tom has come in. Hello, Tom.
Hi. How are you all? You all right?
We're
Hello,
absolutely
mate, how
fine.
are you?
We're absolutely fine.
Cool. Matt said I should come on and talk about anything I like.
Okay.
Not another subject.
So
handball. I want to talk about handball.
handball.
You know, like the new rule
All right, yeah.
about yeah. So like like before this season, obviously it was like it has to be ball hand to ball to hand is waved away. Everyone knew the rule, and like there was still a little bit of a grey area, but it generally worked. This season they've changed it, obviously, and we've had the whole Newcastle Spurs thing and a couple of other games like that where it's been really really poorly thought out, this new rule, because it basically punishes defending teams for something that's no fault of their own, just like the ball happening to hit the defending team's hand is a penalty now. I don't think it's the right thing to do. However, I wouldn't go back to the old system either. All right, so I've got like a new idea for this.
Okay.
I think the way the old system worked, if the ball accidentally strikes the defending player's hand, then even though it's not intentional, the defending team still gets an advantage from it, because obviously the ball will probably go into their possession, something like that, right? So we need a way of punishing the defending team, but not so much that it's a penalty. So I think in the box, if it's an accidental handball, it should be an indirect free kick instead of a penalty. That balances it out a little bit better, because the attacking team are less likely to score an indirect free kick. But from a fan's point of view, they're quite fun to watch.
And
the
big problem with the whole handball thing, it's been changed about 200 times, and that's the issue. It keeps changing each season. They can't decide on what they want it to be, which is really infuriating as fan. And you can see it now on commentary staff. They're like, they have no idea what a handball is anymore. And you can't, you either stick to one rule and that's the rule and you have it for a set period of time and stick to it, or you don't have handballs in football anymore. Because if you don't know what's happening, if you don't know what the rule is, you might as well have it that if it hits any part of your arm, like they've got now, it's a penalty. I understand your point with the indirect free kick. That I like that, but it's very hard when they keep changing it. And I think that's
but it's like deliberate handball, isn't it? There's absolutely deliberate handball. So if you said there was no handball, so if somebody actually deliberately handled the ball, even to the point of catching it, there has to be some form of handball, because you're not allowed to deliberately handball.
For example, hear me out. For example, ball is shot, it's heading towards goal. Goalkeeper's beaten, defender goes and punches the ball off the line. Is that still an indirect free kick, or are you giving a penalty?
No. Only accidental handballs.
Only accidental handballs.
This
is the problem, though. The lines have changed between what used to be, an accidental handball, which to me I always thought was quite obvious. If the defender's got his back to the ball and it strikes him on the hand, he doesn't even see it coming, or he's too close. Somebody hits a rocket shot at him, he just can't get his hand out of the way. And then there's those other sort of handballs where he has actually gone to handball it by, it may be accident, but he has actually handled the ball, or he's punched it away, or he's moved it. Or those ones where obviously you're going up in the air and you hit it when your hands are above your head. But again, there's so many fine lines with it. It's a
very, very grey area.
Right?
Yeah,
it's changed every time that you come to do it. Have you been given new guidelines that you've got to do? Like, when you go to your referee and stuff, do you find it, because you've been there, you've been in the middle. I'm not saying you've been in the middle of like a Premiership game, but you've been in the middle where the agreement, you've handballed it, you've got to make that decision kind of thing. Do you, in someone who's done the qualified refereeing, how do you see it, in a sense?
Well, I think because every law of the game is down to the perception of the referee. So I mean, one case might be the referee thinks it's an accidental handball, therefore when it's actually a deliberate handball, so he gives an indirect free kick where it should have been a penalty, and then vice versa. So I mean, yet again, you're asking, in my opinion, asking too much of the referee to have a correct perception of said situation. I think it should be, for handball, it should be one rule and that's it. Because I think there's too many variations.
Interpretations,
Too many interpretations of the same rule, and it'll confuse everyone. And I mean, being there in the middle, it's hard enough for the one rule anyway. It's hard enough doing it on your own, especially in the lower levels of football without assistance when I've been refereeing. So to do it on your own like that is almost impossible.
Right. It is when you're refereeing, it's quite fast, isn't it? And you don't see everything. That's the problem. You can't see every little incident. And if there is a ball coming in you may not just be looking at that defender at the time. You could be looking at something else, thinking the ball's coming over, and the striker hits the ball and you think it's going in the top left bins, and you're looking that way and it's strike. You don't see it. So get
for example, from the game I refereed on Saturday, I'll say now, whenever, say, the red right back is driving forward with the ball, you're thinking, where's he going to play the ball next? Where's it going to go? Is it going to go is he going to go for the diag, the switch over to the left, or is he going to play it down the line, or is he going to just keep driving? And then you look away for a second, and then all of a sudden the left midfielder of the other team's gone and halved him, and you've missed the foul.
Yeah.
You don't know what to give.
I think
it's a good point, Tom. Thank you very much for being on, and we'll move on to. Thank you very much for your time. Cheers. You're in your car now. You're not driving there, Tom.
No. I'm parked up.
Yeah. Thanks for calling. Are you watching it on your phone then in the car or something? You're listening to us on?
Yeah.
Make sure you wear your seatbelt, mate. Yeah, we don't want any accidents.
But thanks. Yeah, it's a good idea. It's a good idea. An indirect free kick for an accidental handball. Yeah,
in the box.
Yeah. Could make it exciting.
It could.
A lottery.
Thanks, Tom. Thanks for the call.
Thank you very much. Take care now, mate. All the best.
I think with handball, I was listening to Gary Neville, and he saw someone like Sterling. If Sterling is running at you, who is very fast, one of the fastest in the Premier League, a defender needs to have their arms around the back like that. If they have it out like that, because when you go and mark a player and you're trying to shuffle them out, you like that. You have your hands by your chest, right? You don't think. So, for example, look at was it Mane or Salah who kicked the ball at Sanchez? His arm was out. It was a penalty. So, I think this season, there's got to be a line of if your arms are in and you can't do anything about it, then
it's not a deliberate handball. We all kind of know what deliberate handball is, and I think it's bleeding obvious. You make a move. If the ball's coming and you put your hand out. It's deliberate, but if you're trying to keep your hands in and it should, because it's coming that fast, you can't get out of the way. I don't think it is. Mike Gaming HD is here. This time he's promising not to heavy breathe. Apparently he got a bit nervous on the stream, so we'll just add him in. Hello, Mike. Are you okay now? Hello, Mike. Hello, Mike. Are you there?
Does Mike have a mic?
Oh no.
No.
So,
Right,
hello,
okay.
guys.
Hello, Mike. Hello.
I'm having problems here, guys.
Oh, okay.
We're all having problems, mate.
Yeah, I hope can everybody hear me, guys? Yeah.
It's quality content, this, Mike. I'm loving it. We're losing. Carry on with you. What's your point?
All right.
Hello?
I just want to...
He's gone. Oh, Mike, I don't know. You've got problems there, obviously. Maybe next week, Mike. I'm sorry about this, but we've lost you. Sorry. Well,
back
get
on ball before we get the next caller. And
this is football content awards quality, isn't it? This guy.
Anyway, before we get any further, I'd like to say the best way to describe handball is say if, for example, if you're lying in a coffin and the way you're lying, that's the position of the natural silhouette of the body. If your arm is out with said silhouette and the ball strikes the arm, that's a penalty.
So did you see Doties against Maccabi Haifa, whatever they were called? Did you see that one?
No, I didn't.
Can we get Fraser in? I've got Dore here on tour. He's around. Mr. Dore's in the chat saying he's never seen Fraser so quiet. What's happened to Fraser? What's
minding my manners. Somebody else's stream. Minding my manners.
You can join in as much as you like. It's
why I fucking signed you.
I paid money for you.
No, we're all equal on here, Fraser. You don't have to. You can speak up for sure. Don't sit there and not get involved, because we do like to hear from everyone. And so thanks, Dore. Obviously, Dore's not here this week.
Hope you're all right, mate.
But he's arrived late on.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But going just another one on that handball situation. Obviously, being an ex-referee, Gogsy, and then quitting because you got bullied. If the ball hits your hand, it's a penalty all day long. I don't care what anyone says, all right? Just don't handball the fucking ball, lads. Use your feet. What's wrong with you?
It's all very well, but the thing is, from a playing perspective, it is frustrating when you're like 3 inches away from the ball. It struck your hand, and your hand's out like that. You can't exactly cut your arm off in that split second that you've got to move your hand.
No, it is one of those things where there could be that odd time where you did have your hand out and it just hit your hand, but most of the time defenders kind of know not to stick their hands out like that. They need to, they do know the rules on that, but it's just sometimes when the ball's hit so hard at you, there's no way you can kind of get out of the way of it, is it? You just can't get out of the way of it.
Sometimes it's not even a ref; it's VAR. Look at Spurs Newcastle.
Yeah, well, there's VAR as well.
So there you go.
Yeah, Liam Barnett is saying the body. Here we are. Liam Barnett is saying that the body just doesn't work like that. We're not all lying in a coffin. We can't physically keep our arms straight by your side. You can't.
Why you get so many penalties?
I think we've had, what was it, 25 or something? We've had 18 penalties or something for handball, or 60% of the penalties. There was a stat, can't really remember what it was, but it was something about the handball and the penalties. And he's on for a record of already beating the amount of handball penalties in a season. So I think the record's 60 in a season given for handball, and we're already on about 16, which I think is mental.
Wow.
So the majority of the penalties so far have been given for handball. Look at Palace. Palace had one a couple of weeks ago when Roy was moaning. Spurs have had one. United had one against Palace. So I think it's hard to say, because I'd like to see you look what runs throughout the season, but I'm just not sure on this handball rule, if I'm honest with you.
I don't even think half the referees are sure, to be honest. I think that's just guessing work half the time.
Yeah. The thing is, the bloke who's been in charge is like they took the VAR stuff off him, and since he's been in, he changed so many things, and they just didn't give it him because he just keep changing things. It used to be, before he came in, it was like 1 or 2 rule changed a season, and in one season he did 50 kind of thing, and just changed
one season there were 96 changes to the laws of the game internationally.
Oh, Jesus.
And that was just the major issues. Like, that wasn't even taken into account, like the minor ones, such as like you could now kick the ball backwards from kickoff and all that.
Well, it's like what you said before. The only time VAR worked was in that World Cup.
Correct.
Because the reference has to monitor.
Yeah.
Well, I like the way the Premier League referees are starting to go over to the monitor now.
Yes, Michael Hanneman is saying because the rules change so frequently, they can't even keep up with their own rules. It's a little bit like the Bible. It's being rewritten all the time, isn't it? The rules change from, over and over again. You just can't make head and tail of it half the time at what what the rules are going to be. The VAR thing is a fiasco, isn't it? Really, for most people. We've put the code up again if anybody wants to call into the show. I know Dor was here. I don't know if Dor wants to join in with us. He is around.
The door is open.
The door is open for Dor to come.
Have we
Come make our last
lads?
10
Is that where we are? We are 10 minutes from closing time.
I'll see myself out
the street.
I'll walk through this door here.
Who have we got? Let's have a look. Mike's Gaming HD's back. Should we give him one last chance? Do you think he's sorted out his problems? Yeah, come on, we'll bring him in.
Yeah,
right. Mike's Gaming HD. Hello, Mike.
I think we are working now, boys.
Yes, got you.
Yes.
Right, brilliant.
We're up.
Yeah,
we're
perfect.
on data, guys. We're all working.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Right.
Oh man, honestly, internet on here is absolutely rubbish. To be honest.
Sorry, Mike. So what's your question, or what do you want to talk about? It's Lee, Mike.
The question we were at.
Yeah.
Question we were at is, how well do you think Blackpool will do this season?
Well, we started off at the pre-season, Mike, and everybody probably knows now that Blackpool were 3-0 up against Everton within 10 minutes. We looked like we were going to storm the league. We're 2-0 up against Liverpool and then eventually lost 7-2. But there looked a lot of promise, and we put £20 on Blackpool to win the league. However, 5 games in, I'm starting to think like we're in a relegation battle. Well, we are in a relegation battle already. It's early doors. I'm not convinced by whether Critchley can turn these boys into a winning team. We've made a couple of signings of centre halves. Hopefully they come in the next game and improve this defence, because we have got no defence at the moment. And if we don't sort it out, we're certainly going to struggle this season, and it could well be a relegation battle at the moment. So that's where I'm feeling. I'm going to give Critchley a bit more time, but I don't know how much more time he's got to start showing that he can actually win a game. And he's got boys playing against men, and he doesn't seem to. We're getting progressively worse. I think we're not getting better at the moment, but hopefully he can coach the team to play well. And I think probably mid-table at the moment, best we can hope for. What about you?
Hello, caller.
He's gone again, hasn't
he? Yeah, I've got a question for Frost and Goxie.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll start off with Fraz.
Yes.
Fraz?
We'll start off with Fraser. How well would you think Dundee will do this season?
It's a good question. I think it's going to be a much tighter league than it was last season with Dundee.
How well do you think Dundee will do this season?
Okay, just
you answer his question, Fraser. All right, the man's busy.
Right, I think we're going to get second in the league. There you go.
Second in the league, okay.
The Jambos, come on, you hearts.
Gogsy on the same question.
So, same question for me, but for Motherwell.
Yes, I would imagine so, yes.
I reckon we'll finish 5th. We'll take 5th.
Yes, Gogsy, yes, I do. What about your prediction for this season, Gordon? Or Gogsy, shall I say?
5th for Motherwell.
Is this an automated speaker? Is someone typing this as we fucking go?
No, it's not an automated service.
Okay, so fifth, Mike, he's saying.
Oh.
What team's yours, Mike? What team is it?
What team is it?
We need Mike on every week. Mike, we need you on every week. There's there's some sort of lag or something, Mike.
Oh, God.
Which team's yours? Which team's
it.
yours? Which team is yours, Mike?
No.
Who do you support? Who do you support?
Yeah, there is a bit of a lag, to be honest, at the moment.
I would never have guessed.
Is that? I haven't noticed.
Take a guess, you lot. Fraser can guess.
Fraser, can you guess?
Could be 1 of 15.
Oh, for God's sake.
Let's play the guessing game.
Gurney's saying Alloa. Gurney's going for Alloa. There we are. Alloa? Is it Alloa?
Morton.
Count and beef.
It is. Yep.
Morton.
All of the above.
Oh, Mike. Right.
What? No.
Mike, go with
No.
Talk Sport. They need some callers.
It's Alloa.
We got.
Are you on day release?
Oh, Mike, I think it's just a very bad connection, Mike. I'm really sorry, but we'll get you on another time. But thank you very much for calling in to the show. It's been a pleasure. Thank you.
I'm not happy with Mike. I was winning the award for the worst connection Wi-Fi. And now he's about to take it off me. So he's taking my trophy and gone and got it himself. So Mike, never come back on. That's my trophy. And then Dork and everyone equal returns as well. So
it's like being on the radio, ain't it? When there's a delay there, and all of a sudden you can go, I can hear myself on the radio.
Well, guys, we've got about 4 minutes left of the show. Thank the Lord.
Someone ring in, make it fucking good. I'm begging you. I will give you 50 quid right now.
Yes, and
the only good thing about this has been me being mugged off. I'm the only decent caller. And he was only in for 10 seconds.
Come on, one decent question is all we're asking. One banging question. Come on.
Yeah, one caller with a good connection and a good question to finish the show. Can we get one in?
If not, we'll bring Sharky on.
Yeah.
Sharky, come on, mate. Save us for the last 3 minutes.
I bet these two Scottish. Fraser's thinking, what the heck?
I was just giving an explanation.
Talk to us, Fraser. Is it like this in Scotland? Is it like this in Scotland? Is it a lot easier up there?
Oh, it's easier to have a conversation when somebody's not trampling over the top of you. No, I was just saying, like, it'll be an easy. I think it'll be, we've learnt a lot from last season, but then he wants his prediction straight away, so I'll give it.
Yes, that was really bizarre, wasn't it, Fraser? I thought you knew it. He was calling you Fraz.
Well, it's an abbreviated term of Frasquandro, so.
So he does know you then as Frasquandro, yeah.
Yes,
okay.
that is his alter ego.
Yeah, so yes, of course, I'm forgetting you're Frasquandro, so that explains that. Yeah, that's why you're Fraz. But obviously, then I thought he kind of knew you quite well, so I was expecting something. But he didn't give you a lot of time to answer the question, did he?
No.
So I asked the question, you can answer it. So where do you think you're going to finish? I know you're going to get into really a good explanation of where you're going to finish. Go on, tell us all about it.
Well, I was going to say, Michael, before he cut me off. I think we've learnt a lot from last season. When we were in the league last season, that was the first time in 5 years. So I think we've learnt a lot. It's going to be a much tighter league with Hearts. I think we've invested in the positions we need, but I still think that Hearts have got enough, just a bit more to edge out. But we're through their way on opening day, so I think we need to, if we want to challenge them, we need to do it on Friday night.
Right.
No chance.
Okay.
Fuck up.
Come here.
No chance.
Going on to Scotland, I think it's St Johnstone. I spoke to Fraser about this. I think it's St Johnston's got a kit from the last 30 years, the last 30 seasons. They've got little dots.
It's not St Johnstone. What did you say, St Johnston?
Who was it? I can't really remember.
Queen's Park.
Queen's Park have got a kit. So they've got a red dot if they've lost, orange dot draw, and green dot for the win. And they've got it from the last 30 years. And it's made up on the football kit. I don't know if you guys have seen it. What do you think?
Oh, very well. I'm very well versed on this particular kit, Mr. Nathan.
I think it's since the year 1900 since they started competing in the leagues of.
There's more on the back. It's not just.
Oh, is that? I've only seen the first, so I hold my hands up.
Oh, it's a fantastic kit.
Can someone share that screen? I want to see this kit. I ain't seen it.
Shall I? Do you want to do this, please, or shall I?
I'm only running with one monitor at the moment.
Right, I'll do it then.
So while
Right, go on.
Gordon's doing that, can anyone get a question in before we leave for tonight, people? Because you won't see us again for another week.
Thankfully.
Only a week off after this one. Fucking hell.
You'd be mad to come.
This one to curry up this week. I want it to go as slow as possible. Weekend don't come.
It's been an unusual show. I must admit, we've had some,
Weirdest show yet.
But we are bringing in the general public, and there is connection problems and all the rest of it.
Talking about magic tissues and a geezer heavily breathing, so anything fucking went on tonight.
Old Darth
The
Vader.
young children going to sleep. So you want to share something with me on the screen? Is that right, Gugsy? How do I do that?
Chrome tab.
Somebody's going to shout out then.
Okay, yeah, Gogsy's here. Right, so add to stream. There we go. There we are.
There we are. That
Hello,
is the. Can you see it?
Yep.
Yeah.
You know what? I like that. I do like that.
There's a closer up one of the shirt itself. You're really exposing Cy Murray's boner there.
is that their away shirt?
Yeah, that's their change strip.
I like that a lot.
I do like that. It's different.
It is all right. It's all right. Yeah, it's different, isn't it?
In the 100 kits they've got, there's been voted the best 100 kits in football. Fleet was away kits in there. Do you think that could be in?
I don't look at that list actually, Naples.
I don't look at this like that list. I just got told in the comments today.
Put it this way.
Bring it up. Come on, do your job.
I've put a comment up there from somebody called DSES81. Have you guys used the streaming services with lower leagues? Do we know? Does anybody know of this? I don't even know what that is. Maybe you can come on and tell us all about it.
iFollow, I think he means.
Is he on about iFollow? Because if he is, it's shite.
Yeah.
Is he meaning?
Friday was the only time it didn't really work for me.
Is he mean for this stream, or does he mean for?
I think he might mean iFollow. If he's on about iFollow, it's absolute garbage.
Yes, it's not been very good, has it? It's very poor. It's very hard to get on. Do you not think it's difficult to get onto iFollow? It's like so archaic, and you got to put your credit card details in, even though
Lee,
it comes out
zero. Do it at the same fucking time. It's like just saying the turnstiles are open, let yourselves in, and people are getting stuck.
Yeah, it's not a good system. Anyway, should we just take that off now and get back to the? Yeah. But yeah, I think we like that. Yeah, we like that kit. It's nice.
Mm-hmm.
Nicholas Sturgeon FM says it's an interesting kit, to say the least. From Nicholas Sturgeon, we had to get her on, didn't we? I'm glad she's here. Somebody's just coming in. Oh, DSES81 is here. Right, let's have a listen to. Let's see if this is a sensible caller. Hello, DSES81.
Hello, mate. I'm not sure how sensible I am because I'm a Barnet supporter like Matt.
Hey, Barnet massive. Hello.
So what I'm talking about is like Matt will know because he's got a season ticket, so we're given a free pass to be able to watch any home games.
Right.
You can also log in. So who do we play Saturday? Notts County. You can log into Notts County, put your away fan, you can watch the game for £12.
Right.
So you can technically do that for any lower league team.
Yeah, you can just follow any game if you want to follow it. The trouble is, though, for us, we're following our own teams on these days. We're doing live watch-alongs with Blackpool every week, so that wouldn't be a thing for us to watch because we all have our own. We're all football vloggers for our own teams.
Yeah.
I have been going to non-league games and filming them for clubs. We've done a few of these non-league away diaries, and they're quite good fun. I enjoy the non-league, but obviously because I'm a Blackpool vlogger, I'm going to watch the Blackpool match as Sheffield Wednesday. Jake will watch them, and so on and so forth. And Gogsy will watch.
So when you're away, does Blackpool give you the option to be able to watch the games?
When we're away, no, we pay for it. We have to pay. It's a tenner.
Yeah.
Through Blackpool or through the away team?
You pay it through Blackpool.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
Yeah, so we go on Blackpool site and we just pay £10 to watch it. But because we're season ticket holders, we get the streams. We get a code for every one.
Oh,
but
even
it's
the
a
away
very
game?
poor. No, we have to pay for the away, but we get the home games obviously as part of our season ticket. Well, then there's this big problem at the moment where we have a supporters club that have all people in who've paid for their season ticket, but they can't watch it on the big screen because they're not allowing people. They're not allowing clubs to show the stream to more than one people. But I'm sure there's a market there to make more money for them if they did let the games go to clubs and pubs to watch it. And if you haven't got a pass, you got to pay £10 or something, and the clubs can pass that on to the. There must be a way around it where we can all sit down and watch football together in these clubs. If we want to watch, rather than sitting at home and watching it on a stream, because it's not a very good streaming service, I don't think.
No, it's poor. It's very poor.
It's one camera angle, isn't it? It's one camera angle. They miss things. They do replays. They're almost doing a replay while Ipswich scored. We nearly missed it.
And the thing is, the cameraman, depending on what games you get, the cameraman's shaking that much. It looks like he's had a skinful before he started the game. It's kind of one of those things. And they had a system. It wasn't iFollow. What was it? iPlayer. Couple seasons ago, ages and ages ago, and that worked a lot better. You could have commentary from the radio. You could have commentary from the opposition if that failed out.
We can still have that,
and that was so much better. But
the trouble is when you've only got one camera angle, and I've noticed it a few times. If it's raining and it's raining on the screen, say for instance,
the thing going like that.
Yeah, he's got to stop rubbing it all off. But the trouble is, they might do that on Sky, but they've got that many cameras, they'll just change from one camera angle to another, so you don't know they're doing that. But because they've only got one camera, you see any mistake, anything they do wrong, because they've just got one angle. They haven't got a camera to switch to, and it's just very, very poor. Yes, and the replays are annoying. Michael Hanneman's coming in saying the replays.
When we had Dagenham and Redbridge, he was like a camera.
Thanks to TSA 81. Thank you, by the way. Thank you for joining.
That was a brilliant stream.
But because Barnet was playing in white and the ball was playing in was white as well, it was like an automated camera. It was following the movement of the ball. So when the ball was up the other end, the camera was still showing like Barnet's defence because they was playing in white. So you miss half the action, what was going on, and it just. I think they called it what maybe he was trying to say is because when we played Notts County, they'd done 4 different camera angles, which was fantastic, apart from when their stream shit itself and kicked half of us out. It's been shit so far. Hopefully going forward, like reading about Barnet, we've got Weymouth tomorrow night under the floodlights. It's going to be, I'm hoping, a bit better quality. They said they made a few tweaks and everything. So it's got to be going forward because it's a long season and you can't have that. We're not allowed into the ground and we're having to make do with watching it over a stream, and they're not the best at the moment. And, it's just, I just hope so. I hope it improves more than anything, because watching Barnet at the best of times is fucking depressing, let alone watching it through a shit stream with no quality. It's worse than it actually is. But appreciate you called it in, mate. Thank you very much. I didn't know there was another Barnet fan on here. I did want to ask you one question and see how you think we'll finish this. I'll put it in the comments if you can, mate.
I thought you'd have known it.
Say that again?
I thought you'd have known it.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no, you're right. Yeah, that's Dave. He sits we ring up Barnet and say, what time's kickoff? They say, what time can you get here? So, it's like that, really.
Right. Have we got anything else we want to discuss, lads? Obviously, we're over time. We're into extra time. 8 minutes of extra time, injury time. So
we're in something else. We're going to straight to penalties now. Come on, one quick shootout.
Anything else we want to discuss?
Been a good show, lads.
Yep.
It's been different.
It's definitely different.
Good in a different way.
Certainly has been
interesting. It's been a show. Let's put it that way.
This Michael's been quite active in the chat. Can't you come on, mate, and give us a little chat before we leave tonight?
Who's that?
This Michael in the chat here. He's talking about Barnet's defense.
Michael, yes. Can Michael come in? Can we put the thing there?
Come on, Michael. Be brave, son.
Come on, give it. You're giving it in the chat. Can you give it to Loudmouth live on air?
penalty.
Can you give him some
Fucking
stick?
true. We are into Fergie time.
We are. I don't think he's going to be brave enough to join in. He can give you stick in the chat, but he's not brave enough to come on and.
That's all right, Johnny. It's all good. I love a bit of a debate.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely.
Prime Ginger, can I come in, lads? Well, it depends what question you want to ask us, don't it?
Do you want to come in? Do you want to come in? Just come in. I've posted the link there for you. I'll do it again. Football Prime Ginger, come on. Let's finish it off with a great bit of slagging off.
No, he was on before.
Was he?
Yeah, I think he was
Oh.
after the caller.
Where's he from then? Football Prime. Oh, I think he was, wasn't he?
Scottish.
Is that Cameron?
He was our first call. He asked about the old firm before then.
Oh yeah, we've not touched on the old firm.
Oh yeah.
Hang on. I think you may. We've got Michael here. Hang on, we've got Michael. Here we are. Hello, Michael.
How you doing, Lee? You all right?
I'm fine, thanks, Michael. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad. How you doing, Matt? Everybody?
Hello, mate. You all right, pal?
Yeah, not too bad. Sorry, Matt, but I'm a Stevenage fan, so I have to get that one out there.
Sorry for you.
Right, good.
No, I wanted to ask you actually, how do you think we'll do this season? Obviously, we got the reprieve with Macclesfield's situation, and obviously a whole situation that would take a hell of a lot to get through. But how do you reckon we'll do now staying in the Football League?
How many teams are in League Two?
20, I don't even, 24, 20.
Yeah, you'll finish 24th.
Yeah.
Well, you were asking for that, Michael.
Brown envelope. You got lucky with that. Harry read that brown envelope. You're not going to get it twice, sunshine. Lightning won't strike twice. You're gone.
Oh, at least we've got a club, mate, that are actually in the Football League. Like, I don't care how it's come about. Like, just
don't worry, mate. It won't last. Have your little moment right now, mate. It won't last.
And now, of course, Barnett, I got a few of our old boys down there as well. Ben Nugent. Is he still shit? Is he still crap?
Answer your question.
Yeah, it just builds you with confidence knowing that Stevenage won 3 games all season and then we signed one of their centre halves. Yeah, I can't wait. That's the championship winning side right there, lads.
So, Michael, do you do a football vlog on Stevenage or?
I actually run a interview channel where I interview a lot of the ex-players. I spoke to Craig Reed today, who played for Stevenage and Newport and Southend and a couple of other teams as well.
What do you stream on, Michael? What do you stream on?
I use it through this platform, StreamYard, and it goes
on
out
YouTube.
It goes out onto a number of different platforms: YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, all over the place.
What's your channel? What's your channel called, Michael?
It's called the SFC Interviews.
The SFC Interviews, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Gogsy, get that plug. Gogsy, where's that plug?
Yeah, no,
where's the plug? Get the plug. There we go. Look at that. The plug.
That's your
And that was as well. Yes. Go get that plug in.
Now, what were you saying there, Matt? You were just going to come in and say something a minute ago.
I said, fuck Stevenage. Hope you get relegated.
Razzioli's still a Stevenage legend, mate. Always will be.
He's a Barnet legend. Don't you? You're not having him. He's a Barnet legend, mate. He's not a Chav legend.
FA Cup 1997, 1998, 1999, there or thereabouts against Newcastle. Always a Stevenage
You don't
legend.
even know your own history.
I've got Daniel wanting to come in, so we've got one.
Get him in the bin. Michael, it was lovely talking to you, mate. Right, you look after yourself. Well, it's time to go.
Cheers, Michael. Thank you very much. I'll check out SFC, your channel for. Okay, I'll check it out. Thank you. Bye. Right, so we've got here we are. We've got Michael in on a video call. Hello, Michael.
Hello.
Oh,
Michael.
Where are you from? Hello, can you hear us?
It's Michael.
Oh, sorry, not Michael. Daniel. Sorry, Daniel. I'm just speaking to Michael. Sorry. All right, Daniel. Where are you from, Daniel?
I'm from the sunny part of Staines.
Oh, okay. Okay.
West side of Heathrow Airport.
All right. Okay. So, who's your team?
The ever failing Man United.
Oh, you're Man United.
Yeah.
Obviously a Man U fan. So, have you got something you want to get off your chest or say to us tonight? Have you got anything to talk? Obviously, we're coming to an end, so we're looking for some good, sensible chat at the end. Finish the job with a bang.
When are Man United going to finally go for Pochettino? That's what I'm asking.
5 game times.
When?
5 game time. In 5
5
games.
days time.
He's got 5 games to save his job. If he don't do it in that, and they said he's gone. But will Pochettino come to Manchester United without it being run? If he's not got control.
Come on, bloody hell! What turned down Man United for?
You look at how many managers have gone to teams like Chelsea, and when they're just fired after half a season. It's just you get paid the money. You take these jobs because it's part of your CV. Everyone knows what the merry-go-round in management is like nowadays. You just want to take the opportunities.
The only thing I think the only thing that's too long, if he's not allowed to get who he wants in, because that's been your issue. You've had that list of players that Solskjaer wanted to get in, it taking you so long. If you really wanted Sancho, you would have paid 120 million straight away.
Yeah, that for me is the worst piece of business I've ever heard. How you're quibbling, and this is what we do every single season. They penny pinch. You got the greatest supported club in the world. It's crazy. You got the number 7 shirt up for grabs and an young English talent, and you're quibbling over. I know it's a lot of money in real terms, but in football, pennies to that kind of signing, you get him in straight away, day one, pay the money. And then sell the shirts globally. You make your money back instantly. But the Glazers and Woodward are always doing this.
And you also seem to leak your business till last minute now. You never used to. You now leave it till right near the end. You've got no time to get them ready.
First week of the city, it was always first week of the transfer window. They'll go and do their business, get a couple of big box office signings. We'll build the excitement, build the buzz. The fans will be buzzing. The team get going. You get them in for the pre-season tour typically, but now we're always waiting until the last second, like you say, and then it's a couple of panic buys who are almost sort of 4th and 5th choices. And we just, it just absolutely sucks the life out of you as a fan. You're excited because you know what you need. You can see what you need, and you think you're going to go and do it. But every single transfer window now since Woodward started this journey, it's just become crazy.
I'll just say it now. Welcome to being a proper football fan. This is what happens.
Yeah. Welcome to reality, Daniel.
Well, I've been called a glory hunter for 7 years now, so it's nice. It's a nice change.
People start to feel sorry for you now, are they? Is that the way it's going?
I don't think that's ever going to be the case. But look at you now. I'm getting sort of mugged off by the kids I coach now. Used to have that nice smug grin when I said, say I support you, but now now the kids I coach every night of the week now. But all the kids are just giving me a load of abuse. And where did this come from?
It's hard to take. It is strange how it's gone so wrong at United. Well, not totally wrong, but you're just not competing for the top anymore, are you?
I'm seeing happy 10-year-old Liverpool fans now, and I never thought I'd see the day. This is hurting.
I should imagine that's really bad for a United fan.
When I look at United, I just think when the business, I think it shows how poorly run they are. I always think when a club leaves the business to the last minute, especially the bigger clubs, it shows how badly run they are. Whereas in like the non-leagues and low League 2 and League 1, they leave it because they have to on a price. Whereas clubs like yourself, and I think when you sign obviously Cavani screams of when you sign Falcao, when you sign Ibrahimovic, the last striker will score a couple of goals for one season and then maybe retire or go over to China. Do you think that? Do you think it screams of those two deals? I don't think it screams much of Igalo because you didn't really expect much of him anyway.
This whole thing started really, and sadly, as much as it pains me to say it, I do blame the club and almost a little bit of Ferguson for him being allowed to make the choice on his successor, because he had that club running. It was an ice sculpture. It had the best in class in coaching, in medical staff, in sports scientists, nutritionists, physios. Every coach across the board was the best in class, and it was run perfectly. And his choice was a manager that was brought in to rebuild, and it was far from a rebuild job needed. It needed ticking over. He could have handed that job to Mike Phelan and just ticked it over and left all the coaches there. Moyes came in with his Everton backroom staff, and we went from winning the league by 13 points to 7th. He turned us into Everton because he brought in Everton's backroom staff and got rid of all of the years of accumulated knowledge, and all the knowledge around what the players' needs are, how you maintain them throughout an entire season, how you get longevity out of players like Rio Ferdinand and Vidic, and for all the aging players, whilst also bringing in the youth. Moyes just took a sledgehammer to all of that, and we've been chasing our tail and just going from left to right to completely different philosophy since then. We then moved on. I mean, I was gutted when Giggs didn't really get the job full time, because I felt with Giggs in the class of *92 in that backroom staff, I thought we had a chance. I think they might have repaired the damage that Moyes did a lot quicker. We went for Van Gaal, and then we had Mourinho, and there was just a mesh of different philosophies and different styles, and the squad still has got a bit of a mix of all of that mess in there. We still got a little bit of Moyes, we still got some Van Gaal, we still got some Jose stuff, and of course now the board aren't really backing Ollie completely. We're getting some sprinkling of the players that he wants, but nothing that's going to really propel you, especially when you see how far Liverpool are.
Yeah.
And then obviously Man City are going all guns blazing. If we're not going to go full on and back him and go all out and get your Sanchos, and even Haaland was a mistake. They were quibbling over agents' fees, but this guy looks like he's going to be a phenomenal talent. Just go out and get these players. You will make that money back, by a considerable amount. But this is what I don't quite understand. It. As I said, going back to Fergie making the choice for Moyes, that was a surprise to me, and I think we've been trying to repair that damage ever since. I like Ollie, but I think we're too inconsistent. We'll have a run of 10 games where we look like we could beat anyone. And then we'll have a run of games where we're going to get smashed by the bottom team of the table, comfortably. And you don't know what you're going to get.
I think you may well get a manager change. I do think that. I think you probably do need it, and your board need to be more ambitious if they're ever going to compete at the top again, because you're competing against teams that are, full of money now, aren't they? And it's a lot harder. Thanks for your call, Daniel. Probably try and get you on a bit earlier next week. Is it your first time watching the show?
Yeah, it is actually. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
But,
okay.
I'm an avid fan of it next time. So
brilliant. Thanks very much. Thank you very much. Thanks for watching us. Thank you. Thank you. Bye. Bye.
I always said that with Man United, that they overachieved their last season, and Ferguson left them in the shit.
Yeah.
And people forget that.
Yeah,
yes.
But it looks like that.
Football Prime Ginger is saying, when are we streaming next? Well, we're always on a Monday. We're always 8 till 10, and we're trying to do the last hour as a call in. We've not got long to go, so we'll just give these callers maybe. We've got Mike's Gaming HD in again. We already had problems with him, haven't we? So there's not really much point in Mike coming in. He's got a bad connection. Should we take Dan in? I think he's a Nottingham Forest fan. In fact, I know you are. Come on, bring you in. Hello, Dan.
Yeah.
What are you phoning in to say? What are we phoning in, Dan? What's your?
Just about the whole the project thing and all that.
Yes, this new big project. Yes. Are you in an arcade?
Are you running sideways?
Where are you? Are you on a tram later? You're on your way up. What are you on?
Tram.
Oh, you're on a tram.
What the
Try and stay in the picture. You're going out of it. Oh, you're moving away from your phone. Oh my God.
Project thing, it's like, I don't know
Yeah.
if they're going to do that.
No.
I mean, it's
Sure.
about the whole, the pony, isn't it? So,
Yes.
and it's the whole thing I'm thinking is, or the thing just think about the top six, or they're just thinking about the whole football in general.
Yeah, they're just looking after themselves. We totally agree. They're not thinking about it. It's not something we're really keen on, Dan. I totally agree with you. Thank you very much. Enjoy your journey home on the bus or whatever it is you're on. Thanks for calling in. Bye.
Bye.
Where was his mask? He was on public transport.
Under his chin.
Where was it? That was incredible. That was totally different. First time I've actually had somebody on there we go. Right, we've got Mike's Gaming HD's waiting, but we can't hear him, can we? So should we take Aiden as the last call, or are we going to call it a night at this, lads? What?
Hang on, who wants to come in one more time?
They've gone. Mike's Gaming HD, who was a big
Give him
fan
another
of
chance. Give him another chance.
Frask, okay, one more chance. Mike's Gaming HD, third time lucky. He's in.
Right.
Let's go, lads.
Oh dear.
We're on the tablet right now, boys.
You were?
I feel like I should be putting numbers into this automated service.
Can we hear you, Mike?
Right, question for you lot.
Yes.
Goxie, before I mentioned about Motherwell, where would you finish this season?
5th, mate.
5th, Mike. 5th. Everybody put up that. Can you all put your hands up?
Number 5.
Can you see that? 5th. Have you got it?
Hang on, I can't count to 5.
1, 2, 5th. Thanks, Mike. Thank you very much. Thank you. Right, that was. We gave him one more time, but he still doesn't seem to know. Right. Okay. I was going to put Aiden in, but he's gone. Aiden's gone, so I think that's it.
Yep.
Yes, Talk Forest TV just wanted to get on the show. Well, there we are. Your dreams come true. You managed to get on this show. Thanks for coming on. Right, is that it? Have we done?
I think so.
I think we are.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much,
Thanks,
everyone.
guys.
Thank you to all of you that came on tonight. Really appreciate it. Hopefully, you'll be back for more.
Yes,
and yeah, okay. Thanks for watching. If you watched this all the way through.
No! What are you doing, Matthew? God almighty! No!